Y'all can come on here, like, tag, share, join in. I'm gonna deal with it tonight. I'm gonna deal with it tonight. Dealing with it. I done held my tongue long enough, and I ain't holding it no more. I ain't holding it no more. Put my phone on. You can tag, share, like, invite, all that great stuff, because I'm going to deal with it. I sure am. When I say I'm hot, I am heated. Okay. I'm tired. All the way tired. I'm dealing with it tonight, though. All the way. My spirit is all the way vexed. My spirit is fixed. Okay? So like, tag, share, invite somebody. Call somebody. I don't care who you call. You can record it, screen record, because they got all these new fancy devices now where you can do all this extra stuff. But I'm going to deal with it tonight. I'm going to deal with it. Okay? Deal with it. And it's going to be short and sweet. Let's go. So listen. This is where I'm at. Okay? I made a post today, probably about an hour ago, about the kingdom. About us calling it, we supposed to be kingdom, right? We supposed to be kingdom. That's what we supposed to be. Hey, sis. And when I made my post, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm over people. Like, as far as caring about what people think, I'm over all that. Like, literally over all that. I've lived my life in the shadows, and I've lived my life, quietly, and I have said some things that really blew people's mind. Didn't even expect me to say it, because I have always cared about what people thought of me. I always cared about what people, I just cared about what they knew. I cared about all of that. But let me help you today. Okay? Let me help you get this together real good, because I'm not one of them ones that you're going to continue to play with. I have always been the type who have covered people even when they uncovered me. Okay? I have always been there for people when they never been for me. Ain't called me, ain't show up in Texas, ain't never show up to my house in North Carolina. I've always been there for people who never showed up for me. Okay? What I'm sick of, and I made this post, I said an hour ago, 3 hours ago, I made a statement, and I made it very clear. I said, I'm sick of people. You can be church, not church. You can be whoever you want to be called. I said, and I quote this, okay? I'm so sick of people, especially those, and let me say exactly how I typed this so nobody don't get nothing misconstrued, okay? I'm so sick of people, especially those who are called themselves kingdom. If you choose to be gay, if you choose to be trans, if you choose to be lesbian, if you choose to lie, you choose to gossip, you choose to sleep around, don't pay your bills, church hop, that's on you. Hear me what I say. It's on you. It ain't on me. It's on you, not me. Let's be clear. Make sure you tag, like, and share this, because everybody gonna get this word before 2020 and before I go on my consecration, because I'm sick of all y'all. Now, I gotta use my words like this, because at the end of the day, I do run a business. But what I don't like, and as I tell my kids, use your big kid voice. That means speak up. Hello. No longer on mute. I'm sick of y'all. I ain't talking about, because I'm the church. I ain't talking about the building, but I'm talking about people in general. Those of you who always got something to say. Those of you who always got something to talk about. When I'm going to help you, you're going to have something to talk about tonight, okay? I don't condone the activities or sextivities he or she do. Did you hear what I say? I don't care what nobody does. That's on you. However, I still love and I show it. I'm not fake about that. Just because you see something in them that is sin, I may not see it. But yet pray that the Holy Spirit consumes them and take over. See, God has done ministry for me in a whole different way. Let me finish my post before I go there. However, my walk is set up differently now. And guess what? I mind the business that pays me. Okay? If you are so concerned about people and what they do, call them. I still got a landline. And tell them what thus says the Lord and not what you see on social media. My point is, mind the business that pays you. Where's my book? I believe it's over there somewhere. I think it's in the front. My bookkeeping book. My thing is this. How can you draw people when you are constantly judging? You don't know people walk, and definitely not mine. You only knew what you was told. And what you was told, you still don't add value to your life. My point is, mind the business that pays you. Everyone wants to say they are doing kingdom, but yet putting your mouth on people literally. You might as well be doing the sextivities too and activities too. If you bold about it, call them on the phone and tell them, cha-ching, I'm getting my bag. This is my last post addressing those who are saying they are of the kingdom, but yet of this world. Be reformed, no longer revived. Now let me go back up here with this right here. Okay? Because everybody saying the streets is talking. Everybody saying this and this about me. You heard it from my mouth. Okay? Because I ain't got to do no interview. I got my own platform. And I don't do platforms to scandalize anybody's name, okay? I don't do that. Never have, never will. But if anything, we're going to deal with the spirits, okay? Number one, spirit of divination. Those who sow discords, okay? Let me tell you something. You call me about anything concerning anybody that I know, you will get checked, blocked, and deleted, okay? Let me tell you something. Know that. Know that. Period. I don't care about what people talk about. I do not care. But what I do care about is when you come to me and you name drop. Let that be clear. I don't got time for the name drops. I don't care what you do in your bed. I don't care what you did with them. First of all, I do not care. And this yet is an open rebuke. Okay? And anybody can rebuke anybody, especially when you're out of order and you think you can't be touched. Let's be clear. All right? Another thing is, let's deal with the spirit of jealousy. All right? Let's deal with it. When you're jealous of someone else and wants what someone else got, okay? You choose to want what somebody else got because you don't have all the things that you desire to have. Just like I went out here and worked my behind off, married or unmarried, I still went and got what I got. Amen? Let's deal with that. You jealous of what she doing. You jealous of what everybody else doing. You jealous. Help somebody today. You're jealous. You can't be mad because they up and move. Don't worry about why they move. Hell, you need to go move. Why you worrying about, oh, she on the scene. Oh, she secular. Oh, she ain't saved. Oh, she always in this state. Oh, she all in that state. What man she sleeping with now? What happened in her marriage? What this and that? It ain't none of your business what happened. But hello, lights. Let me tell you something. something. Those of you who have been sending screenshots, that have been sending stuff here and there, and want to know what was said or what happened between my husband and my ex-husband and I. First of all, let's be clear. I did leave my husband. Yes, I did. I left my husband, and I left him for various of reasons. It wasn't just one reason. I left him for various of reasons. And first of all, I did give my husband another chance. I did give my husband multiple times to get it right with me. Let me say that. Hold on. Maybe I'm no longer on mute. The boot done dropped. I did. So let's deal with that. Okay? So y'all can stop with the lying. But I mind the business that pays me. I said in the end, brothers and sisters, but I just had to say that part. So when you sit up here running your mouth, and because I needed help, let me help you, you gossiping, because the lying spirit is gossipers. Let me help you, you gossipers. I can say what happened in my life, okay? Let me say that. So what did he say? Nothing to do with jealousy, says it's to do with correcting and exposing sin. It needs to be dealt with, as the word says, to be there for one another. Nothing to do with jealousy, says. Follow what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, this is what I'm telling y'all. I know what I left my marriage for. Okay? I know what I left my marriage for. I don't care what he do out there on Facebook. Okay? I don't care what he told you on Facebook. I don't care what he inboxed you on Facebook. I do not care. I don't care. I don't care. Let me say that part. Because this is why social media is so big. Everybody say, I hate social media. I hate it. But you constantly posting your pictures of your family. You constantly posting videos. You're constantly saying different quotes as if you are a philanthropist and all this great stuff. Hey, you got your degree. Oh, well, great. Good job. Let them be there. Okay? Y'all so concerned about what's going on. So this post is related to the lying spirits that's walking around here. Y'all gossipers, y'all lying, and y'all doing all this extra stuff. Don't call me about nobody else. Don't inbox me about nobody else. I do not hell of a care. Okay? I don't care. And I don't care. Everybody say they got, they seen receipts, and they seen this, and they seen that. Baby, if you seen it, good job. I'm glad now you know what had happened. I'm glad you know. But what I'm not going to do is entertain a spirit. Period. I'm no longer ashamed. So let me help you. I'm no longer ashamed. I was married to someone who beat me. I was married to someone who cheated on me with multiple men. Let's be clear. I'm not ashamed. When I tell you I'm free, I'm free. And when I say I'm free indeed. Help today. So don't come for me. Don't text me. Don't call me about nobody else. That ain't kingdom. That ain't kingdom. You calling me about somebody else. Call me about me. And don't call me trying to check me on where I am and who I'm with. The reason why I kept quiet was because I was ashamed. You don't know what it's like to be married to a man who you wanting to be with. You don't understand. You don't know what it's like. You ain't never walked a mile in my shoes. You ain't never been where I've been. So let me make this clear. I'm sick of people. No, be quiet. No, don't say nothing. Lord God gonna do this and God gonna do that. Shut up. You lying spirits. You lying spirits. You gossiping spirits. You want to know? You gonna have it. And I'm not going to stand with nobody that's walking wrong. I'm not standing. I stood long enough. It has grown me. Those of you who are married to preachers, it ain't got nothing to do with the preacher. It got all to do with the man. Yes, he was anointed. Yes, he could prophesy from the front to the back. Yes, he could. And yes, I loved him. And yes, I did. But at the end of the day, let's be clear. I ain't walking with nothing wrong. I've seen people, listen to me, I've seen people come to the ministry and they leave the ministry. And I'm the first lady and the pastor's wife. So y'all sitting up here thinking that it's okay. I tell my kids that I teach, listen, use your big kid voice. When somebody do something to you, you talk about it. I sat quiet. Okay? But you spirits who gossiping, you're gossiping. And you're gossiping about the wrong stuff. And then at the same time, when you're gossiping, you thinking it ain't gonna come back. Just because they not your friend, don't think somebody else may know you and they may come back and tell you something that they didn't expect them to know that you was their friend. But at the end of the day, you find out, oh, well, I heard your name and they mentioned your name. Oh, I seen the receipts. I had men walk up to me in somebody else's service and said to me, I slept with your husband. I'm like, hey, you slept with him, not me. I'm dealing with it. I'm sick of people. Y'all calling yourselves kingdom. If you cared anything about me or you cared anything about my child, you wouldn't have never done the stuff you done. And you knew I was married. Period. Many of you knew that I was married. But y'all knew that you was in his sheets. You was in the sheets with him. I'm walking where I'm supposed to walk, baby. I had to get clearance. And when the Holy Ghost told me to speak, this ain't to scandalize nobody, but this is my story. And that's on you. He chose to sleep with the men. He chose to sleep with the armor bearer that lived in our house for 4-5 years. He chose to do that. And say they was bros. And say they was, oh, we brothers. Y'all brothers and y'all hanging, but at the same time, y'all sucking and y'all having sex while my daughter upstairs. When y'all thinking that my child was asleep. Now, see, my daughter had to go to a hospital because all the stuff she kept inside of her. I'm sick of y'all. Oh, he's a man of God. There ain't nothing dealing with God on the end of that. I don't care what you say. Take God off and say, let's deal with the man. Let's deal with the man. But when no man wants to be delivered, there's nothing you can do. God told me to walk away from our marriage. I didn't want to walk away. I was going to stand. He put his hands on me. His mother said to me, somebody needs to get out. Somebody needs to get out before somebody get hurt. Who got hurt? Me. I had to wear this on my hand because still people can't squeeze my hand tight because he fractured my wrist. I had to wear this. I don't care what nobody got to say. I'm releasing this. I don't need nobody to release nothing. I'm releasing it. And I don't care what nobody got to say about it. Y'all sitting up here thinking it's okay. Y'all don't know what them first ladies go through. I'm not saying all first ladies' husbands are gay. I'm not saying all first ladies. I'm not saying that. I'm not bitter. Far from it. But I'm sick of people lying. I'm sick of y'all lying. My cousin, she was so mad. She said, girl, he said that you left him. You left him and then offered him a second chance. What the hell? You a lie? And I deal with that spirit, that lying spirit. Because you did that. That spirit, you allow the devil, the spirit to control you. I deal with the spirit. At the end of the day, yes, people wrong and they do stuff. But at the end of the day, listen, you don't put your hands on no woman. When I confronted that spirit jumped on me. and threw me across this room. The one he was cheating on me with, his armor bearer, the one that you see, the one that you've seen plenty of times, always with us, and people would inbox him. They would inbox my ex-husband and say to him, oh, why you always got him with you? You need to enjoy your marriage. Everything that was said to me in the beginning was a whole lie. None of the stuff. I slept on an air mattress for 3 years. Pastor Kevin Gibson had gave us a bed, whom my ex-husband barely slept in. I don't condone the activities. Many people was thinking that I was a part of it, like I arranged this. Like, oh yeah, she did. I didn't marry nobody to cover up nothing. He said he was delivered. And my mama always told me, and my grandma always said, listen, baby, if whatever they say they ain't doing, it'll come up. The results will show. He ain't sleeping in the bed with me. My ex-husband didn't sleep with me for 2 years, going on 3. And he had to nerve to text me and say, keep waiting. So those of you, and I only slept with my ex-husband 5 times. Let me deal with it. So y'all sitting up here thinking, oh, and when I say I'm free, I'm definitely free. Because I'm no longer being lied to, deceived. And I'm contracting AIDS. Do you know what that could have done to me? Do you know that could have done to my daughter? You playing with somebody's life. I'm sick of it. I kept quiet long enough. Then y'all so-called apostles want to call me about another apostle that you know I'm connected to. That ain't kingdom. You checking people because you feel like you got the authority to check people. Sit yourself down somewhere and have several auditorium seats because they're selling tickets at the door for your foolishness. Hello, some daggone body. I was prompted by the Holy Ghost to get up here. Because I was going to remain quiet. Quiet. We sitting up here going to church. We going to church. He clapping, hand clapping, and all this stuff. Yes. And then y'all sitting up here saying, oh no, that ain't God. I had a prophet call me and tell me, woman of God, you wrong. Woman of God, you wrong for divorcing your husband. Matter of fact, I could have sworn in Deuteronomy, it tells me that I don't need to stay in no misery. You don't know what that first lady going through. She got to sit on the front row. She got to sit on the front row and watch this. I'm seeing it before my eyes. I'm seeing it. The armor bearer trying to act like he me. I'm seeing it. I'm not speaking for no first lady. I'm talking about me. There are some first ladies that have been through what I've been through, and they've been in for 20, 30 years. Wanted to be treated like the pastor. Wanted to get the same treatment like the pastor. This is what they wanted. I'm embracing. I'm lying to my ex-husband. I'm saying, well, it's fine. Long as I got my own room. We went from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom and to a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, then a 4-bedroom, then to a 5-bedroom. But it was all us niggas living together. And niggas is ignorant people. I could have been home. I was calling home asking, hello somebody, asking for help, and I was married. When I found out that my ex-husband and his armor bearer, the assistant youth pastor, was dealing with each other, I found it through messages where he's telling him, come back to bed, because he was exposed at the church that he was a part of before he changed the name. And anytime churches changing names and stuff like that, it was a scandal or something involved of that nature. And so I had to sit here and try to figure it out. People are inboxing me. Woman of God, I'm praying for you because your ex-husband, I heard him online. He said you left him and didn't give him a second chance. I'm sitting up here talking about, I'm like, huh? Second chance? I asked him, can you please stop? Even when Dr. Gertrude Stacks was here, he put his hands on me. And that was 2019, right after she done laid hands on the both of us. And because I exposed him in front of the church, Pastor Colleen, God rest her soul, she's no longer living. But it was a lot of things that that woman saw in this house. She saw because she lived with us. And Dr. Gertrude Stacks, I called her. And I told her, I said, please pray for me. And you got the audacity to sit up here and say to me that I'm wrong. I done been quiet. I've been quiet. I ain't exposed nobody. I ain't said nothing. I talked to my family because that's who was pulling me out. That's who was making sure I was good, making sure me and my daughter was dealing with. It's a lot of stuff that pastor wives and first ladies deal with, and we got to sit there and be quiet because we're following the scripture of being submissive. But you're not supposed to entertain foolishness. You walk around with God, and I was raised, if you ain't walking right with God, I don't need to follow you. I need to turn my face and pray, and that's what the hello I did. I prayed. That's what I did. I prayed on my knees in my prayer closet every single day, praying. People leaving the ministry because of how he was mishandling them, mishandling money. Come on here. It ain't kingdom. And then people try to drag my overseer and say, well, where was the overseer? The overseer didn't know because he wasn't held accountable. He didn't even hold himself accountable. He wanted all of us and the ministries underneath him to be accountable to him, but he wasn't accountable to his overseer. Period. Everybody try to sit here and try to tell y'all it's an image for the first lady. I love my ex-husband for real, even in his flaw. Even when I knew he was texting another man on Kick, on Grindr, on all these Facebook Messenger, Instagram, I'm seeing it all. Don't be sorry for me. Thank God that I got out. Thank God I didn't die. He choked me to where I lost my bust my vocals. And so people try to sit in here. I'm good. I'm healing, but I'm good. My daughter felt what I was feeling, and my daughter tried to take herself out. And I had to admit my daughter to a mental hospital because my daughter wouldn't talk. What many people don't know, she did not talk. My daughter was dealing with a lot until she started talking to the therapist, till she started talking to the psychiatrist. She started talking. And they asked me, they said, well, how much of this you know is true? And some of it I knew and some of it I did not know. Because she did not tell me, because she said, Mommy, she said, I know sometimes when I do something or I tell you something, you go back to Daddy and you tell Daddy and Daddy whooped me and I was telling the truth. I didn't know. Then turn around, blame her for things that she had done. And I'm like, okay, Angela did a lot of things, but some things that didn't make sense. But then you turn around and you sit here and say to me, oh, well, you the first lady, you just supposed to be quiet and pray. A lot of first ladies deal with a lot. Y'all love the pastor more than you love the woman who's praying for him when he's sick and you got to go to the store in the middle of the night to give him something for his stomach, his headache. You got to take him to the ER, got to pay the copay. Come on here, somebody. And you got the nerve to treat these first ladies like that? It wouldn't be no church if that man wasn't with that woman. Y'all sitting up here trying to make, and then the sad part about it is, I said, this is sad. My husband, and I got my notes right here because I wrote a note to God. I wrote a note to God. I sent it to my daddy. Daryl Talbot, who has adopted me as his daughter. And I'm going to read a note that I wrote to God at 5 a.m. in the morning. Because I'm up praying, believing God for his healing and his deliverance. I said, dear Lord, because we got into an argument. I said, here we are again, where my husband tells me I need to talk to someone about what's going on in my head. That daggone spirit of Jezebel and that manipulative spirit tried to make me think I was crazy. Ultimate narcissist, trying to make me the blame for everything. I said, you know what? I took it. My dumb self took it. Yeah, it's my fault. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I'm too emotional. Yeah, I want a baby. I want a baby, but we ain't having enough sex. You ain't banging my brains out like you should. Okay. But I got the problem. You ain't touched me. You ain't touched me since December the 21st when we got married in North Carolina. And then when I had to ask you on February the 14th, and Pastor Chelany, who was a part of our ministry, she sat there and said, man, what's wrong with you? You need to be all over that woman. She left our ministry. She was gone. This woman moved to Florida. People was moving from Connecticut, was moving from Minnesota, was moving from all places, New York, moving to be a part of this ministry. And you do people dirty like that? I'm praying. I'm believing God. I'm asking Tiffany McGrumman, hey, can you listen? Not beating my banging your brains, not bringing them at all, Christina. And listen, I'm a fire woman. And I know listen. Yes, Lord. Stay on top of it. I got you, Holy Ghost. This was the message that I wrote. Dear Lord, here we are again, where my husband tells me I need to talk to someone about what's going on in my head. I need a professional. As stated before, pushing me off on someone where he can actually resolve it. He can actually help me. If anything, we need a marriage counselor. The issue is the emotional connection between us. We try to connect, but when I'm down and overwhelmed, he doesn't know how to comfort me. When things get too much in life, I cried out sometimes. And the thing that was getting too much in life was the fact that, for one, he was messing around with the armor bearer. And I'm seeing him have messages with other people. That's what the problem was. When things get too much of that, I cried out sometimes. And I need my husband to comfort me, not the apostle. He comes with apostles don't have an emotional side. I said I don't want the apostle. This is what I'm talking to God. I'm giving him my letter. I said I need my husband. Is something wrong with that? What's the point of having someone to be married to who doesn't comfort you when it seems like everything is falling but can't hold you and let you know everything will be all right? I believe marriage is about being there for each other. Or, let me help somebody today. I believe marriage is about being there for each other at their lowest and highest. Your spouse, him or her, should be there when things get tough. Your spouse should be there when things are going tough, be able to talk things through for better, for worse. Not always having the blame game, just taking ownership in what we say. Sometimes my husband says things and changes it. Why I don't know. Why? I don't know. I'm talking to God. Sometimes I don't know how he feels because he doesn't share it. He said he is learning to talk more. That was a lie. He was talking to them jokers in their inboxes and to them men. How about that? He said he is learning to talk more. He also said he believes I'm overly selfish because I want my husband, I want my time. Then you got a nerve to sit at a table with somebody who was married and who gets loving from her husband and wants it a certain way. And they've been married for over 5 years and you're going to sit there and tell that woman at that table, don't do him like that. That's because you was gay. And had I known, I knew March when I found the messages, they was old messages, okay? They were old messages. But so when I tried to bring it to him, he talking about, oh, it was a joke. That's how we talk to each other. I was livid. Then he went on live, and then next thing you know, got in front of the church and apologized in front of the church. This woman that came to our church, she tried to force her to be my armor bearer. I said, I don't see her as my armor bearer, but I see her as a sister, as a friend. I'm new to this armor bearer stuff. I'm new to it. So I'm like, I just moved here to Texas. So I'm trying to be friends. I don't want nobody carrying my bag. I don't want to, but she embraced me. Then soon as she checked them, prophet to a prophet, then she was like, hold on, you not treating your wife right. You've been only married for 2 days. And technically, we was only married at that particular time for 4 months. This woman got over 5 years and overcame so much so she could teach me something. Hello today, somebody. But every time, oh, you're not a prophet. Okay, I'm not a prophet. Let me help you with something. With this spirit of divination, and then with this lying spirit of what you have. Because you still got it. You ain't yet delivered. And everybody try to say all this foolishness about this and that, and he's still a man of God. Take the God off. He's still a man who needs deliverance. Period. I don't care what nobody say. You don't do people like that. You don't fool people. And so they disconnected from the ministry. And they disconnected wisely, unruly, and they disconnected in a cool and calm way. Members was coming to me and saying to me, well, why did they leave? I don't know. I can't tell you why they left. Why don't you contact them and ask them why? But don't lie on me and say I said something that I didn't say. Don't do that. Because you was also in somebody else's inbox trying to sleep with their husband. So if you're going to talk to somebody, you better talk to them. I'm not name dropping, because those of you who are on here know what I'm talking about. Who has followed me, who has been with me, even after separation. This same very woman inboxed me. You want to know her name? I'm sure she already publicly put it out there and went on one of her posts today. But I won't do that. Because at the end of the day, this woman, when I needed help, she was there with open arms. She was there to help me, see me through. She never stopped praying for me. Even though she was not my armor bearer, she laughing. You laughing, girl. She wasn't my armor bearer, but I love the ministry that she had. And what happened was that a man tried to come and assassinate her character of who she was and who she was becoming. She was a force to be reckoned with. And then what that spirit tried to do was try to dim it down. That woman came to me and she said this very clear. She said, I know you're tired of, she said, I know you're tired of public display. You only get your affection in front of people in front of the church. She won't lie. Because the only kisses and hugs I got was in front of the church. And I soaked it up. Because I knew when church was over, I was not, hear what I say, I was not getting no affection or attention. He went to one room, I went to another room. We won't sleep in the same bed. He's sleeping on the floor. I slept on an air mattress for 3 years. I didn't have a car. He allowed my car to get repossessed and said, that's your problem. That's not my bill. That's your bill. I was driving a Lexus and let my car get repossessed. But he's supposed to be the provider and the protector of our home. And I'm honoring him as king. I'm crying. I'm calling home. Mama, can you help me? Can you help me get my car out of repossession? Then we moving from house. We moving every year. We got a new address. We moving from the church building back into the house. Back in the house to the church building. That's because money was being mishandled. My husband didn't have to work. I told my ex-husband, I said, listen, you ain't got to work. You ain't got to work. You could go ahead and do ministry full time, because I knew that was his passion. He loved God wholeheartedly. I knew that's what he wanted to do. I knew it. So I said, I will work. I didn't mind working. I ain't had no problem doing it. But now let a joker come to this. You better come here with everything. I'm not selling. I married this man because I loved him. And what connected us was a familiar spirit. I used to be in a homosexual lifestyle when I was in college. Kira on here, that was my rolling partner. We was roommates. Jessica on here, we was roommates. But when I decided to come out of that life, and I had to make a decision when I had a daughter to come out of that life. I said, Lord, my cousin said this to me. She said, Victoria, you got to know what side you on. You can't be sitting up here saying you saved and you saved for real. And my cousin, she didn't go to church. Princess didn't go to church like that. But what she told me, she said, you got to make a decision. Jayla was, I had Jayla. So that was what, 2010, 2011. This is 2020 now. So it's 2020. So I had Jayla. I had to make a decision. It took me 6 years to come out of that lifestyle. And I fought my way out. I wanted deliverance. I'm going to help y'all today. I wanted deliverance. It ain't about going to hell. It was the fact that I wanted my daughter to see an honest life. So I came out of that life and never looked back. If people choose to stay gay, homosexual, that's their decision. I don't condemn that. But what connected us was a familiar spirit, and I saw the spirit, and I said, hey, I said this very clearly to him when I talked to him on May the 25th, 2016, when I was talking to him. I told him, 2016, I said, I know I don't care about your lifestyle, your past lifestyle, long as you are still not doing it. It's a big difference. I was nowhere in agreement with his lifestyle. That I did not, unbeknownst to me, I did not know he was still in that life. Had no clue. Didn't know the man that was inboxing me every morning, his armor bearer. Hey sis, I'm checking on you, this and that. Are you ready to be the first name? All this stuff. And I'm like, okay, unbeknownst to me. But then when I actually come to Houston and I see everybody and I'm like, okay, trust me, I got a prayer life. I got a prayer life. And when I say I see. And I didn't see wrong and I don't see wrong. But when I sat down and I looked and I said, if this is who he say he is, okay, God, you said this my husband? Oh, no. I don't want to be married to no preacher. No way. I want to be married to a husband. So the conversations that we were having privately was clear. I'm sending money, trying to make sure me and Jayla had a house to live in. I moved out of my house, was in the process of selling my home. My home sold in 14 days. Come to find out, I had another lien on my home, which ended up putting my home in foreclosure. So technically, I could have took my behind back to North Carolina when I found out the sale didn't go through, so it wouldn't affect my credit. But his crazy behind said to me, trust God. Trust him. He gonna see you through. It ain't gonna go on your credit. The devil is a whole lie. It's on it. As foreclosure. And I believed him. I trusted the God in him. And I'm not wrong for trusting him because I believe he was my husband. I believe he was who he said he was. I really believed him. I did. I did. I followed what he said. And what he said, hey, I did it. I married him and I moved out. And then next thing you know, I'm looking at everything. We're living in a 1-bedroom apartment who was not his. It was another pastor's. God bless her soul. Rest her soul and bless her too. And we lived in that 1-bedroom apartment for 6 months. Then we ended up moving out into a 2-bedroom apartment. The ones that are on here knew how we lived. I'm like, how in the world he could prophesy enterprises, cars, all this stuff? How can he prophesy all this stuff? And we living like peasants. I was living like a peasant. I don't care what nobody say. I was living like a peasant. My family came here for a wedding. And they looking, they see me smiling. They couldn't go to my house afterwards. Everybody came. They supported those who did support me. My mama, my sister Princess, my uncle who flew in from Florida, for actually California, and my uncle and aunt flew in. And I say a peasant because I didn't have to live like that. I ain't have to. But I said, I'm going to ride it out with you, boo. I'm going to ride it out. And what he say? Oh, you don't need none of that. Sell all your stuff. I sold all my stuff. Sold it all. And I think $2,000 worth of all my stuff. That money was gone by August. I'm going to tell you something. Don't you ever put your mouth on me. Don't you ever try to talk about me to somebody else. Because I can tell my own goddamn story. Know that. And then you turn around and you try to sit here and slay people. Just because you don't see me with them. I got folk praying for me. You may not see me with them. You may not ever see a picture with me with them. But let me tell you something. They praying for me. But y'all call this kingdom. I don't care if you choose to follow his ministry. That's your business. That's your business. You choose to follow him. I don't follow him. I have no reason to. I have no free reason to befriend him. How he treated me. And then I said, did you forgive him? I forgave him and move on, but it did not consider reconciliation or a conversation or a hello or a bye-bye. What's done was done. Period. So those of you who saying it's kingdom, that he's still a man of God, I'm going to let you know, as prophetess Victoria Nicole Hooks, take God off because you're making a disgrace of him and say man. Say that. Because I'm sick of you lying spirits that's wandering around here in the earth. And I know what God called me to be. I was ashamed. When I got this book no longer on mute, when I did this book, I was ashamed. I still was taking pictures on Facebook and still in bondage. I'm boosting myself up to say I'm living in freedom. I'm living in freedom. I'm living in freedom. But I'm trying to get myself there. That woman texted me, inboxed me, and said this very clear. She said, woman of God, I'm praying for you. She said, I see too much. She went on a fast. And she the most fasting and consecrating person I ever seen in my life. Because I was the same person. I said, oh, I got somebody just like me. On her face, days I'm in the church praying. She was in the church praying with me. Coming with me to the church praying. And he talked about me. I was his wife. And he talked about me like a dog. He talked about me in front of Pastor Colleen, in front of them. He talked about me. That ain't of the kingdom. There are two kingdoms. There's a kingdom of darkness and there's a kingdom of light. And that ain't the kingdom of God. I don't care what nobody say. But y'all want to sit up here and follow these people. Went on a fast with me. July 2017. You remember that? Dog baby, you remember that? We went on a fast, July, August. Her departure was August 2017. And I felt some type of way because I said she told me that she was going to let me know when she left. And dog baby, they tell me I was broken because I ain't had nobody there to be my voice. Help today, God. I didn't have nobody there to be my voice because she was my voice. Help today. She was my voice because she saw what I was going through in private. We having late night texts and conversations. Believing God for a child. I lied. I know how to tell him my doggone self. I lied to this man, said I was pregnant. I had pregnancy symptoms, but I lied to have this man to think that I was pregnant. I lied because those 30 days were the best attention and affection that I got from my ex-husband. The closest attention I got from my ex-husband. I wanted my ex-husband's attention. So I lied about being pregnant. I said, I hadn't had no period in 2 months. I didn't lie about that. I thought I was pregnant. I was excited. The doll baby sent me and him to Baby Doll. Thank you, Holy Ghost. Sent us to the Omni Hotel, her and her husband. Sent us to the Omni Hotel to get some one-on-one time because every time we was together, it was always, I was always people around. Always those people around. So she sent us to say, hey, Apostle, you know, y'all go ahead. Then this daggone raggedy man gonna say, I felt offended because Apostle didn't tell me he was leaving. I was hurt. This time I wasn't crying. You was crying. That's my husband. Ain't your husband. Never had privacy. So my marriage could have been. It could have been what it could have been. It could have. But because he didn't want to be delivered, and because he didn't want to let that spirit go, that deceptive spirit, that lying spirit, that spirit of confusion, spirit of divination, I don't care what nobody say, that familiar spirit had a hold on his life and still do. And when God told me to stop praying, and when God told me he turned them over to a reprobated mind, it may sound like God, but it ain't. Y'all better watch who you following. I had a woman of God call me last night talking about another apostle, 2 apostles. And the Lord said, block and delete. This is a spirit of division. Will use me. I'm sick and tired, Daddy. When the Lord told me, he said, tonight is the night. You ain't carrying this no more over in 2021. Hey, y'all know about shy. Y'all sitting up here thinking, playing with people's lives. I moved my child over here. I'm dealing with the spirit. So you can block, delete me, and not follow me again, because I'm not here for followers or likes. Trust me. I mind the business that pays me, and my business pays me well. Had people giving their checks to people. I mean, they give their whole check. I'm giving my whole check. I'm not getting nothing from it. I'm so mesmerized and so under this witchcraft, under this thing where I'm like, I just gave you my whole check. Okay, it's fine. It's bae. Oh, I love my king. Oh, I just love him. I'm making posts. I'm doing this and that. And then there's sometimes I didn't make no post. And then I was told, listen, make the post. I'm sick and tired. People walked away because they saw that perverted spirit. They saw it. And they walked away. They said, I can't be attached to this. I don't know what. This ain't God. This ain't right. This don't look right. And then we get offended when you check them. Anybody know me, I'm very humble. Anybody that knows me, not knew me, but know me. Know me? No, I'm very humble. No, I have a very mixed spirit. And those of you who have mixed spirits, you will be easily targeted. You'll be easily taken advantage of. That's in relationship, whatever the case may be. Because you want that person to help. You want to build that person. I stood in the back. So I just built, push. But that was my mama encouraging me, my sister Tamika encouraging me. People was encouraging me from the back. My daddy encouraging me. And my daddy said, that nigga gay. Down Talbert, my spiritual daddy. Excuse my language, because if you hear nigga or boy, gay, whatever, that's what he said to me. I said, no, daddy, no, he not. He used to be dealing in that lifestyle. And daddy, back it up. I'm like, daddy, I used to be in it too. So, daddy, it don't make him less than me. It don't, daddy, what daddy said, daughter, you deliver and you turn. And God rose up with all power in his hand. But at the end of the day, he's still in that life. And he a user, he a manipulator, he trying to take people's money. He ain't taking my money. I'm just being real with y'all. But y'all always got something to say. I'm on here because of the simple fact, God said he's sick of y'all saying it's kingdom. It's lies. That's the kingdom of the dark world. People try to say you're not qualified because you didn't go get a theologian degree. Theology. You didn't go get that. because you ain't qualified. I had people would say to me, listen, you need to just stand by your man of God. I stood by this man. Then when he put his hands on me that second time, after the first time, I told him, I said, you don't put your hands on me. You put your hands on me again. And he choked me the first time because he got mad because in front of the church that night, I told him, you are wrong. We shouldn't even be having church in our house. Starting out, yes. But I said things to encourage him. Hey, babe, we can build the people. We can have church house. We can save our money on rent, and we paying $1,800 here and $1,800. We saving money. We can build the people. Do little hugs. We can do it. We can do it, babe. I'm with you. I'm with you, babe. I'm telling you what I said. I'm trying to encourage him. Like, Lord, I'm standing by. I'm standing by. And then you out all times of the night. Not coming home for days. You on live in other places and hotels. I mean, the people at the hotel place. Well, I was like, I'm sitting up here like, I'm up here running behind this man. Standing at the Palace Inn. What you standing at the Palace Inn for? You got a whole bed that somebody else blessed us with. But you out here sleeping, trying to, then took me off the bank account so I cannot track your stuff. I ain't no dumb woman, not by a long shot. But my grandmama always said, baby, ain't nothing going on after 11 o'clock but open legs. And it wasn't no open legs, it was bread baskets, Larry Reed said. But daggone licking booty behind, all that stuff was going down at night. And then you get mad at me. Because I'm sitting here saying, I still want to be loved by you. You going to events with me. Domestic violence events. You're going with me to these events saying I love my wife, I push my wife, but at the same time, you was verbally abusing me, you was emotionally abusing me, you was spiritually abusing me, you was physically abusing me, you was doing a whole lot. But you out here licking booties and dicking booties down. That's what you out here doing, because these people, let me tell you something. These people sitting up here saying that they your boy, but at the same time, they exposing your tail. What you thought it wasn't going to come out? I didn't say nothing, but I got a child. It's embarrassing. People ain't got no respect. I got my child. I slept with your husband. Oh, he laying on my couch. Oh, well, let me show you. He laying on my couch. And my child looks at me and said, well, mommy, it's true. I said, hush, Jayla. Be quiet. And I'm just trying to tell y'all something. When you seeing people that had been through, my parents walked through it with me. They could have left me when he put his hands on me. They could have left me. It was after center hours, but they could have left me. They could have said, you know what? I don't deal with the foolishness. But my parents, they was like, listen, we're going to ride it out with you. But that joker better not come back up over here. Let us find out he over here. You talking about a business. We're going to really slay you. Everybody try to do that. This ain't no gossip. This ain't no tea. This somebody's life. I can tell it. I can tell it. This Negro gave me syphilis. And then I had to go get shots in my hips. My daddy and my mama said to me, just do what you got to do. Lord, I thank God it ain't AIDS. I thank God it ain't HIV. Oh, I thank God. So y'all sitting here trying to play with my life? You playing with my life now. And y'all sitting here, you want to have something to talk about. I'm telling you. You playing with my life. Where somebody could have died. I was on consecration when he put his hands on me. I was weak. He coming the same week I released No Longer on Mute was the next week where he put his hands on me. Yes, I went there, mama. I sure did. Because people need to stop playing out here. Sexually transmitted disease is real. It's real. I ain't playing no games. Y'all talking about these are true prophets. I'm a true prophet. I know that for a fact about my life. And I know I ain't going to be liked about I'm not going to be about everybody. And I'm not here for your likes, your love. I'm not here for any of that. I was bringing in over $5,000 a month. Where the money at? I'm bringing it in. And then my landlord, he tells me, he says, he sent me a text message and said, are you going to pay, for the month of May? For what? What you mean pay? Pay what? What I'm paying? What I'm paying? I can talk about it. I ain't shamed no more. I'm not shamed no more. I'm not shamed. I'm not shamed. I had to call Mama Debbie. Mama Debbie right there. Her and her husband. They sent me home. Me and my daughter got us a ticket. We stayed home for a week. I had to step away from my church. I had to step away, not from my church, from my center. Because I was done with the church. Done with it. I wasn't done with God. I was done with the church. I ain't carrying this crap over. Holy Spirit said, you're not carrying this over. You're going to deal with it. This is two different kingdoms. Know what kingdom you part of. I'm part of the light kingdom. Not here for no followers. I'm not here for none of that. I'm here for this. I'm here dealing with this doggone lying, perverted spirit. I didn't have no money. None. Still struggling to this day, trying to still get assistance. My mama helping me. My daggone sister princess helping me, trying to make sure me and my daughter still eat. And I told my mama, I was talking to her, and I was home for Thanksgiving. And I was done. I was tired. Emotionally, I was tired. I was drained. My daughter just tried to commit suicide. I found my daughter hanging because she said, Mama, it's too much pain on the inside for me to carry. My daughter. It was too much pain. Shamir Bacon, Real Housewives of Houston. She sent me $250. And she said, listen, we got you, sis. You need anything, call me. I didn't have to call nobody. When I make my posts now, my posts are real. Them posts I was making before, they were subliminal posts talking about my life that I was in. And like my sister said, you don't know what's behind the smile of the post. You don't know what that person is going through. So y'all need to stop with this foolishness. Thinking somebody need attention. My life is real. I lost my vehicle. I'm calling. I'm begging people. I'm begging my family. When I say people, I'm talking about my family. Because I didn't know these people in Houston. Real Housewives of Houston stand for something. Everybody try to say, oh, you a part of that. It just didn't do nothing for me. I'm not a part of that. Listen, I may not be a member that pay annual dues, but that girl right there is my sister. That's why I say we kingdom. We supposed to be kingdom. We supposed to be kingdom. Kingdom supposed to stand with kingdom. Kingdom supposed to stand with kingdom. That's kingdom of light, not kingdom of darkness. I'm trying to tell you. I sat up there and I talked to my landlord. I got the text messages to prove it. And this man said, you still owe money. I owe how much? Well, he said the $14,000 debt, and I still had to pay $1,800 a month. Still had to keep the lights and water on. But none of my kids in here had to go without. I made sure I worked my behind off. I did not raise my prices. I kept my parents in the loop. I kept coming to work. I kept doing what I was supposed to do. Because of the simple fact, I stand for kingdom. Even when I was getting harassed with text messages and phone calls from Google Voice numbers. Voicemail saying, call me now. Breaking every violating code. I got a protective order. I don't care what nobody got to say about me. But this is my life and I got a child. I have a child. And I preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. The gospel of Jesus Christ are to pull in disciples. Where are the true disciples? I told my dad, I said, Daddy, I thought people was praying, Daddy. I said, Daddy, I thought people was really for me. They said, oh, sis, we here, we love you. It was only 10 people, 10 that was there for me. 2020. Thank you, Holy Ghost. That was there for me. My mama, she sent me, my mama right there, my godmama, Kathy Tolbert, she sent me $600 because the bank account was in the negative that I had and didn't know it. It was closed. 700, I think it was $1,100. And $1,100, the account was in the negative. And mama said, don't worry about it. While I was there, the favor of God was on my life to where the bank said if she could pay $600, we can help her. My mama and my daddy, Talbert, paid the $600 so that I could open up a bank account, so I didn't have a bank account in my name. So you going to sit here and try to tell me that I ain't doing kingdom and I'm over here and I'm doing this and I'm doing that? I'm straight up real. I just don't say nothing. I smile a lot because I know people go through. I know this for a fact. On food stamps. While married. On Medicaid. While married. Because my husband couldn't get up off his lazy behind and go get a job consistently. Could only work a job for 2 months. And I'm still saying, okay, babe, it's all right. I got you. I get promoted. And my wife getting promoted. She good now. We straight. You living off of me and you living off the other people that's in the house. I'm telling y'all sitting here talking about it's kingdom. It's not kingdom. How men doing wives and how wives doing their husbands. That crap ain't kingdom. Get somewhere and get delivered for real. Y'all gonna see, these people help me to this day. I'm calling the window. My lights was turned off on Tuesday and they turned them back on Tuesday. I had to decide what to do. Pay rent, pay lights. So what did I do? Pay lights, pay water, pay gas, and then call my stepdad so my stepdad can pay my light bill. It was $380, which I did not have. So every dime that my parents paid me, every dime, I put it towards my rent so my business can keep running. That's what business owners do. They make sacrifices. Reliant, they told me they could not give me a payment plan. They said because, this is what they told me, call 211. Call these numbers and they get assistance. Do you know these people told me, well, you're going to have to call January 6th because that's the available appointment. My lights turned off. They was only turned off for 1 hour. 1 hour. I'm being real with y'all. My mama Deborah told me, she said, Victoria, she said, Victoria, she said, listen, you need anything, call me. Anybody know me, I ain't calling you. If you know I have a need, great. But I'm not that type. This Negro was trying to get me to sit up here and get on Facebook Live and ask for Cash App. We were going from house to house. You know why? Because he wasn't paying the bills. Asking for rent to move. That was real. The house did flood. But before that, you owed 4 months of back rent. 4 months. And I had to figure out how to do this. Family sending money. And they trying to, I don't know what's going on. His mama messaged and say, hey, do we need to get Jayla? Because this seems like something ain't right. They knew something wasn't right. They knew that. But me and my child was suffering. And as a wife, let me tell you something. I was riding it out with my husband. Riding in the streets with him. In the street ministering with him. I knew I was a ride to live and a ride to die chick for him. I pushed him as a wife. I knew I was a good wife. I knew that. So some of y'all sitting here saying, no, you wrong for leaving him. He's the apostle. The devil is a lie. God ain't in that. And you a self-made apostle who turned around and put a title on your name and never was consecrated or affirmed by anybody. And it definitely was not my overseer, Lolinda Brown. And she not for discord. Hello, somebody. So I'm still dealing with the spirit of perversion. He's sitting up there calling my daddy, asking my daddy, talking about Victoria need a truck. My daddy sent him $800. And my daddy turned around and sent him another $100 and some dollars. Hello, some daggone body. So stop lying and to these people talking about I didn't give you chances. And then you get mad at me because I confront you about you sleeping with men in the city and the man in our house? How dare you? You let that devil trick you into losing your family. You let that devil trick you into thinking that Prophetess Barris, Valerie Barris, she prophesied that. She said that devil want to make you look like a fool. She prophesied that. The night before our marriage, because we got our marriage license, and everybody was like, oh, Victoria, you know, y'all already married once you get the marriage license. But I didn't know. I found out the truth. We weren't married until it was signed by an officiant the next day, December 21st. She said it, and you proved the devil right by living the dirty lifestyle that you choose to live. And everybody keeps saying to me, well, God gonna expose, God gonna expose. The Holy Spirit unctioned me to expose this mess, this spirit. I'm dealing with the spirit. He was a good person. He had full of laughter, full of love. You know, the pictures we were posting, we posted pictures and everything was wonderful. Everything was good. And everything that, you know, it was good. But I suffered after the picture was taken. I was suffering after the picture was taken. I'm up here. You telling people, oh, she got money. She got money. My family got money. I had money before I got with your broke behind. You were broke. And I believed in you becoming rich one day. I believed in you becoming rich one day. I've seen millions. I had millions in my bank account. I know what it's like to have $1 million. I know what it's like to have $500,000 in my bank account because I've been there, done that. I know what it's like. Did I handle my money properly? No, because I was giving it to dirty niggas that didn't appreciate nor knew my value. I owned my home at the age of 21 and owned it for 11 years till I ran into a spirit of witchcraft. I'm trusting in God. So going back to my note that I was praying to God about, I said, Lord, why things, let me go back to it. Because I wrote this note to God. Sometimes I don't know how he feels because things and changes it. Why? I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how he feels because he doesn't share it. He said he is learning to talk more. Then he also said he believes I'm overly selfish. As a wife, God, I'm talking to God here. How am I supposed to respond to this? Because he doesn't see the issue. Lord, show me how to handle this information. It makes me feel alone when my husband says it's in a loud tone. I can't help you. What are you asking for? I can't help you. I'm asking you to sleep with me. Spread my legs open and sleep with me and have a baby. But I'm sitting here begging something. But you know what happened? God protected me. He protected me. He protected me. God protected me. I'm sitting here begging this man to sleep with me, to touch me in bed. I'm saying to him, our marriage would be better if spent more time alone time with me. Lord, you know I have no problem with Pastor Colleen and the nigga he was sleeping with up underneath the roof, and David and us being under the same roof. I didn't have no problem as long as it was in separate rooms. I didn't have no problem with it. I just wanted my husband. Sometimes I feel my husband and I need more alone time outside, not always in the house. Not him always being on Facebook Live. We are married and they are single. And sometimes I think my husband don't realize that individually comes as if he is single. My husband is home full time and works when contracts for his business come through. That's when he was doing all the doing the food and stuff. He could cook. He could definitely look clean. He could do a whole lot of stuff. He was a potential husband. I saw greater good. I saw greater in him. And I believed in him. Do I believe he can still change? Absolutely. Do I believe in the power of God? Absolutely. I sure do. But this is what I do know. God said he turned him over into a reprobated mind. He said he was walking in spirit of divination. That's what the Lord told me. He told me that. He was smoking weed, doing drugs. He was doing all that stuff. Somebody, if I was high, you should know I was high. A lot of my family was quiet about it. But you ain't gotta be quiet. He had a lot of anger. That spirit was mad at me because I approached it. And I said, I know the truth. I know the truth. I know the truth about you. That you've been out here sleeping with David and sleeping with all these other pastors and all these other men going to hotel rooms. You leaving me every night. You leaving me every night. And not even then, it went from every night to weeks. Oh, I'll be back. I'll be back today. I'm asking when you come home, get in the bed with me. When you come home, do this. I'm crying. I'm saying things. And as I'm saying them, I'm saying them like, you know, I want you home. I want you in the bed with me. And I want you to do this. And I want you to do that with me. And guess what he said? Keep on waiting. I waited 9 years. You won't wait on 9 years. You wait 9 years to sleep with a woman. That may be true. But as far as you waiting, you wasn't waiting because you were sleeping with the armor bearer the whole time. So if anybody want to pray for deliverance, pray for his deliverance. Bombard heaven for him. But don't sit up here and try to tell me that I need deliverance because I decided and came to agreement with God, or be in a situation where God finally opened the door for me to get out and I chose to stay by going against what God told me to do. You are completely out of order with me. God sent the prophets to expose, right? But I'm not exposing you. I'm dealing with that spirit. So how about that? Y'all calling each other brothers. But that's a spiritual incest, but you sleeping with each other. Then you living with him. He bailed you out of jail. You the one. You the one. You the one. Tell me it wasn't true. And David will do anything. He tell you how high. He tell you tell him how high. He jumping. Apostle didn't say that. Well, I'm doing what he told me to do, Lady V. I'm just telling you. Well, why are you going to do that? That doesn't make sense. You drove the car that my mama gave me to drive. Hello, somebody. Then you get on Facebook and lie. You get on Facebook and lie to the people. Talking about me and my wife got into an altercation. Oh, they sent me the video. I said, what? Altercation, a slight disagreement. No, nigga, tell the darn truth. You know what happened. I confronted you about you sleeping with all these men in Houston. You need to stop lying. You got a spirit of whoredom, unfaithfulness, adultery. But everybody want to preach. Sit yourself down somewhere and get all the way delivered. Be converted. Be reformed. You had an excessive appetite for men. That's what you had. You left me for a man. Matter of fact, you ain't leave me, baby. You had both best of both worlds. Best of both worlds. You had a wife and a nigga. A whole gay one at that. Who likes men. Do I have anything against the homosexuality community? No, I do not. But I got a problem if you my husband and you sleeping with him. I sure do. I got a whole problem with it. And then you gonna try me? You didn't go to work but 2 times. You went to work 2 times. And I still stood by you. Then left me in a situation to where I worked my tail off. Work. And picked up lift so that I can make ends meet to keep my home. Period. And this is the problem. This is what's wrong with the church now. Today, is that everybody's so stuck in religion, but ain't nobody checking this stuff. You ain't gonna let nobody stay in no house and sit up there and beat on you, and then you keep carrying the bills. That's what the old people did. You're not gonna sit here and come to me talking about I'm wrong. I'm checking it as I've been summoned to do. I'm a daggone queen, and I was treated like a peasant. And the times that I was being treated like a peasant, I said, God, I don't deserve a good man. I'm sitting up here saying, God, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve that. But at the end of the day, hey, at the end of the day, I knew what I wasn't getting. I wasn't getting the affection and attention from the Lord, from my husband. I didn't need the apostle. I knew God for myself. I heard him clearly. For myself, I didn't need nobody to affirm anything. The Bible itself is the whole prophecy, so I didn't need nobody to confirm my future because I already knew what was in me. I knew my life was worth fighting for. I knew that. I wrote the book on it. It was worth fighting for. But I don't care what nobody say. He played on my vulnerability and my brokenness, and I allowed it. And I took full responsibility for what I went through and took my daughter through. And I said, God, I thank you for getting me out of that situation. I almost died. Didn't have the nerve to tell another pastor he was going to take my child from me, and my family was going to get my child back. I almost signed adoption papers for my daughter. So if I did die, she would have been going to him. And it would have been a big war. But he wouldn't have won. Y'all men need to stop with this stuff. Women too. You got women agreeing with being in the forefront and covering. I did not marry my ex-husband to cover up his lifestyle. I did not do that. So please stop with the lies. Well, it don't matter whether you lied or it don't matter to me because I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Don't come in with me with that. Don't come with me with that. He played on my emotions. He played, oh, you gonna go to an asylum. I'm having seizures. My family not being told the truth. My family not even being told the truth. My cousin, my sister, Shirley M. Harvey, my sister knew what was going on, but I only told her bits and pieces. Because I already knew she would have said this. She said, you need to get your ass out, and you need to get out now. Matter of fact, you ain't got to worry about me and Abdul. We on the way. Where you going to meet us at, and you better be there. Had I reached out and said, hey, this is what's really going on. He putting his hands on me. My daughter, she's sleeping in the closet on an air mattress because she was peeing on herself all the time. And I'm like, I'm going along with him like, okay, you know, yes, she is peeing. We don't need to buy no bed. We don't need to buy no bed. We don't need to buy no bed. You right. To keep peace. A lot of the things that I agreed to was to keep peace because I already knew the anger in him. I knew that. When he got angry and mad, his eyes changed colors. They turned red. He said he had a liar, but he was one. I'm tired of people trying to sit here. I'm sick of people. Know what kingdom really is. Know what it is. You may not look like me. Your walk may not be my walk. I'm married prematurely. I'm married because I could legally have sex with my ex-husband. But yet at the end of the day, as I was marrying him, I also married him because of the simple fact that I knew for a fact that I truly loved him, that somebody really hurt my heart. Oh, he prophesied accurate. He prophesied accurately. But then I also know he manipulated me too. When he found out that I was selling my home and I was getting $25,000 back from my home, cha-ching, the church was already in a deficit. The church was already in a deficit. That woman that used to be here paid that debt for that church. Gave the church $6,000. Gave the church $6,000. And then after that, you couldn't even, you only had 6 people in the church, so you was not bringing in $3,000 a month. So why get a 7,000 square foot building bringing in $3,000, the rent $3,000 a month, but you only bringing $100 a month in offering, $100 a week in offering, and you telling the landlord, oh, the people left because of this, this, and that. You lied. Them people let us stay in that building for 12 months with a $33,000 old debt. We stayed in that building. Them people let us stay in there for 12 months and owed $33,000. The church of the doors of the church was locked, and he said, let's go through the back doors to get the stuff out of what we need to take. We got to get it out of here. There was somebody that had their business in there, and her stuff was in there, and she had to get her stuff. She was very upset, and I would be too. You paying your tithes and offering, and the doors of the church is locked. See, I didn't think this stuff was real because I came out, my grandparents, Diane Parker and Frederick Parker, we was living in a debt-free church. So, you know, we was small, but we was large in quality. We was small, but we was large. And my grandfather, he networked with people, and we worked with people to where we didn't have to do a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of fundraising, because people did so in their tithes and their offering. They gave because they saw the work that my grandfather and my grandmother was doing. Like, literally. Literally. So, you know, I wasn't used to coming in church and we got to work, we got to do this, we got to do that. Like, we did youth field trips and stuff like that, but we could raise the youth thing in just a weekend and selling snacks, hot dogs, chips, or whatever at the end of service, and we got our money for the summer field trips. So I didn't understand that. So then I didn't understand the Cash App and the PayPal. I didn't understand any of that stuff, but I was like, okay, this is how you win. And then we were constantly on live telling people to sow. But are they sowing into you, or are they sowing into the word of God? If I'm telling people to sow, I'm telling you to sow into the word of God, not for you to get a return, because God already told me that I was blessed. And he also said to me in Matthew 6:33, that if I seek ye the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto me. So my blessings comes from God. And so if I'm seeking the kingdom of God, which is light, my blessings comes from God. My blessings does not come from me sowing into what you said. My blessings come. Now I respect the honor, and I respect the honor on your life. I'm not against the reaping and sowing in good ground and the harvest, and you know, your leader, and you know, you believe a prophet, and you know, you shall see a prophet's reward and all this stuff. I'm not against any of that. I'm just saying, even though with me I sow, and I sow big. I so big. So at the end of the day, you know, when people talk to me and they're talking about, you know, West Seas, you know, the Lord led me to sow a seed. Great. But that nobody, I didn't come from a begging family. I didn't come from a family. I didn't live like that. I wasn't homeless. That wasn't my story. And, you know, that wasn't my story. That was his story, but he didn't have to be. He didn't have to be. He chose to be a rebel. He chose to be a rebel. When people say, I choose to be a rebel, they're choosing to rebel. So I don't even use I'm a rebel for God. No, because I'm not rebelling against God. I just know God told me to get on here and deal with this lying, perverted spirit, and also deal with this spirit of divination and spirit of jealousy and spirit of whoredom. I know what God told me to do. And it ain't got nothing to do with backlash or anything like that, because no weapon formed against me shall prosper. None of that stuff. But at the end of the day, people sold into us because they believed in the power of God that they saw on our lives. And I'm sorry. I repent to every person that's on this live. I'm sorry that you was mishandled. I even went back to people who was a part of the ministry, and I said, I am sorry. I repent unto you because you were mishandled, or I have said something to you, or I just didn't do it right, or I stopped talking to you. Majority of the people that left the ministry, I stopped talking to them. And then my ex-husband said, block them. I didn't know why I was blocking her. I was just like, hey, I don't want to be on nobody's bad side. I'm just going to just tell the truth and just be like, you know what? I'm riding with my husband. And my husband doing it, I'm riding with him. And my grandmother said, listen, If he walking wrong, you don't walk with nothing that's walking wrong. What you do is you got the order and the rebuke that situation or that spirit in that person. You rebuke them. You rebuke them. That's what you do. But until God cover, you don't walk with them. You don't walk with them. You still preach the word of God. You still do what God tell you to do, but you do not walk with them until God restores them and delivers them. But you will know it when it's God. You'll know what they restore. When people say turn away, you turn away. Turn away from wickedness. If you know you're a liar, you're a gossiper, you adultery, you're lying on people, you doing all this stuff. Like, if you know you did this type of stuff, if you know you like that and you dirty like that, you do not need to be leading sheep. You don't need to lead sheep. I was very clear to the members that were a part of that ministry. I was very clear to them. Listen, I'm going over here, and that's on y'all if y'all follow me, but I'm no longer your pastor. I will not scatter the sheep. But they made a decision to follow him, which is fine. Nothing against them. You made your decision. But what I will not do, you ain't got to walk with me. I'm okay. And I know when God spoke to me, God said, you are going to have to walk this walk alone. I've always, in all my relationships, I've covered men. Even in my relationship that I was with before my ex-husband, I was in an abusive relationship, but abusive engagement with this man. And guess what? He was cheating on me with the women. That's just what it is. And I was like, what is wrong? What's wrong with me? Why is it that I'm always being cheated on? What is the problem? I didn't set boundaries. I didn't deal with it when it first came. That's just what it is. I didn't deal with it. And some of you all don't deal with it. I'm on here to bring a warning. When I say I don't condone the activity or sex activities or what he or she do, however, I still love and show it, I'm being real about that. I have people who in my family are in that lifestyle. But when I see them, I love on them. When I see them, I talk to them. When I see them, I hug on them. But I don't talk about their lifestyle and how they live. I only talk about things when you bring it to me and you're looking for a way out. Or if you ask me for my opinion. But I'm not going to approach you and say, you know you living wrong. You know you shouldn't be living with that woman. You know you shouldn't be living with that man. You know you shouldn't be that ain't me. I don't do stuff like that. But if you come to me with that in my front door and you drop it in my lap and you drop your trash, I'm going to dump it out and I'm going to dump you out and I'm going to let you know why I said what I said. When I say my walk is differently now, I was trying to understand, God, why are you pulling on me like this? Why are you doing this to me? And God showed me why. My sister, I came home for Thanksgiving and I stayed in the house. I spent time with my sister for one day. I wanted to spend more time with her, but I was emotionally drained. My sister, Shirley M. Harvey, that's my sister. She my blood cousin, but that's my sister, my oldest sister. So anytime I'm dating somebody, she look at them side, I say, ain't time, ain't this, ain't that. I was like, nah, y'all just don't want me to be happy. I just want to be happy, this, and that. But man, listen, ain't nothing like peace. Y'all don't know what the hell I've been through. From 2016 all the way to 2020. Y'all don't know what I've been through. Sleepless nights. Crying, worrying. Why he don't want me. Why he won't touch me. Why he won't lay with me. And then we had people to live with us. Now you want to lay with me because you didn't want to be looked at as you don't really touch your wife. You don't want to be looked at as you really don't sleep with your wife. You don't even have sex with your wife like you talking. We couldn't have kids because who the hell gonna have kids having sex once a year? Who gonna do that? I couldn't birth a child. You took me to the hospital to see if I could have kids. I go to the hospital to have kids to find out if my tubes is untied. And my tubes are untied. But it ain't nothing knocking boots. It ain't no somebody knocking the boots in the boom boom room. Ain't nobody doing nothing in the boom boom room. It's the boom boom room. The lights and the walls is talking to me. But his woodpecker won't talking to me. It was talking to the men. Y'all sitting up here think it's funny. But it ain't nothing funny about it because I felt like something was wrong with me. It manipulated me. It manipulated me into thinking something was wrong with me. As if I had mental problems. Played on my emotions. Made me feel like I was wrong. It played mental games. It literally did. And I said it. I told my sister, I said, listen, I know I got some good stuff. Let me hear you something. Let me tell you something. I know what I got. So something got to be wrong with you. Something got to be wrong with you. If my baby daddy running down trying to get me back, I know. And all my exes that I've been with want me back. Because I knew I was a good darn one. But it made me feel like I wasn't enough. My biological father made me feel like he didn't even want me. Till we clear that up. Me and my daddy, because I said, Daddy, you always made it seem like you didn't want me. So I was always chasing after, yes, I will say that, chasing after and always wanting to be, always buying, always being the one to do this to show my love. To show my love. You got a lot of women out here that was just like me. One of y'all out here just like me, out here trying to, show this man you love them. I know I got that good. And you trying to sit up here and do all this stuff? Not only, it ain't about what's in the sheets, baby. I got a brain. I know how to make money. I know how to keep money. I know how to build an empire. So if anything, y'all men out here trying to be with a woman and trying to be with some woman that ain't got it all together, get with somebody that got some brains. That know how to build an empire. But now y'all want to run behind these girls that'll lick you down, have sex with you, do all this kinds of stuff. Listen, it ain't about that. Y'all think it's a game. Y'all saying that it's kingdom. It's kingdom. Kingdom is real talk, truth. For you to be delivered, free, set free, pull somebody else in, repeat the same cycle. Get somebody healed, deliver free, repeat the same cycle. But tell the truth. Stop lying. If you left your wife because you were sleeping with another man, say that. Don't tell people a lie and say, well, if you got out here on Facebook and said it publicly, you might well say what you did. Ain't nobody dragging nobody. This is the straight up truth. You can't be sitting here preaching in God's pulpit and saying this and that. And at the end of the day, you know you wronged your wife and your child. Stop playing. Stop playing with God. Stop playing with his people. Stop mishandling his people. Y'all won't even speak to the first lady. Y'all walk right in the church and talk straight to the pastor. Y'all will text the pastor. Y'all will text the pastor before you even talk to the first lady. Y'all will call the pastor and call the pastor first. And then the pastor tells the wife later. And then next thing you know, it's just a bunch of foolery. If you can't talk to both of them, don't talk to them at all. Talk to the administrator of the church that's there from 9 to 1 or 8 to 4. Talk to the administrator. If you can't deal with both, they're a unit. They're together. They're one. They're one. And the reason why the church is divided, the reason why the church can't get free, the reason why nobody don't want to go to church is because of the simple fact y'all do all this division and lying in the church. Ain't nobody church gonna grow if y'all keep doing this foolishness. You lost it. And then you lying. You lied to your family. You lying. I'm accusing you. I'm not giving you chances. I'm not doing this. Yeah, I did this, but she did this. I stayed on your ass. Tell them that. Tell them the truth. Tell them what I said. I didn't allow you. I wasn't going to keep allowing you to lie on me. I wasn't going to continue to allow you to manipulate my mind. No. And you want to know why so many false prophets around here now? Baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. You got the pastor, she trying her best to keep her husband lifted in prayer because you got people in the church trying to sleep with your husband. You got people coming from all over trying to do all kinds of crazy stuff. And you sit there and complain talking about people after my wife. Ain't nobody after me. Them people talking about me. Because they like, do she not see he gay? No, I couldn't see it. I mind the business that pays me. And at the end of the day, we was building together. That's what I saw. I saw what it was, what it could be. And I was going to stay. That's what I was going to do. Y'all stop playing. Y'all talking about y'all living y'all best life. You brought a whole STD to my door. You brought that to my door. You brought it to my door. That's the hurtful part. And I definitely had to thank God because God, I said, God, you really want, yes. And you gonna move forward with your life. You ain't carrying this weight on you. The spirit of heaviness was on me heavy. And I was like, God, help me. Help me. Holy Spirit, help me. Bring comfort to this thing. You don't know what it's like. People inboxing you, saying this, saying that. Just crazy stuff. Approaching you while my daughter is with me. I slept with your husband. That's hurtful. That's really hurtful. Oh, I just thought you should know. I just thought you should know. And I said, well, I'm no longer married to him, so it don't matter. They're like, carry on. What you thought? It was going to break me? What broke me was see my daughter hurt. What broke my family's heart was the deception. That's what broke my family's heart. That's what broke my family's heart. Because my family loved me and Jayla. The lies that was trying to be fed to me, to cut my family off, to isolate me, to make me believe my family wasn't there for me. That's what did it for me. My daughter almost killed herself. My daughter almost killed herself behind this. But never again. I can't stand a controlling, manipulative person. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Why? Yeah, it's just, I can't. I cannot stand them. I can't. Controlling and manipulative. Walking in this crazy stuff. You're a walking Bible, but yet no conversion. You're a walking Bible, but yet no deliverance. You're a walking Bible, but no change. Gifts and callings comes without repentance. So what makes you think they're going to change for you? They not. They not. I'm just in this place. And I was talking to my landlord, and he said, Victoria, I'm really trying to work with you. I'm going to be forced to evict you. That's what I said to my landlord. I said this to him. I said this very clearly. I said, if you're going to evict, go right ahead. Because how I see it, I make sure I pay you as I said I would every week. I can't help what mess I was left in. I can't help it. But what I can help is make sure my daughter has a roof over her head. And he came back and apologized to me. He said, well, just do what you can. Do what you can. You had people who moved from different places to help in this ministry. But at the same time, if they ain't had no money to give, you want to take all their money. You want to make them feel less than. That's so narcissistic. Any leader that I see and they provoke people to give their check, or they provoke people, these people got to live. Are they going to come to your house? They going to come to your house and stay with you when they get put out? These are the type of questions I ask now. Are they going to come? They give 10% of their offering, or they tithe. But where do you come up with this where you double your tithe? Where you come up with this stuff, give your whole picture? If you choose to give, then obey God. If God lays it on your heart, obey God. I'm not against giving, because I'm a giver. If you're not giving in your tithes or your offerings, you're giving in your time, you're giving in serving. There's all different. So this is my thing. Why is it that people got to give you their whole check? Where they gonna live? When their lights get cut off, they come to y'all and they done came to y'all. Do you have a place for them to go? You driving a car. I don't care what kind of car you driving. But my thing is, if you're going to preach the word and you're going to teach the word, the Bible says if there is a need and you know your brother and sister is in need, you're to help them. My overseer has helped me. But I'm not expecting her to give her entire check. My family helped me. And still helping me. My daughter, she had a great Christmas. But you want them, and then you're going to tax the people. Oh, yeah, you're going to owe taxes. You're going to have to double back. You owe 4 months of tithe. You ain't paid in 4 months. You owe. Tax time come. I got people on this live that was a part of this ministry. Sold $3,000 and $4,000 to this ministry. Because they believe what was coming out of the mouth that perceives that as if it was God. Days I got on Facebook Live, I was praying. Everybody's like, oh, she not preaching, she praying. Because I pray. I'm an intercessor at heart. Outside of being a prophet, I'm an intercessor. I intercede. How many times you see Jesus binding and rebuking in the Bible? That's how I ask people. How many times you see him doing it? How many times did you? Because last I checked the Bible that I read, God dropped folk dead. But then Jesus came on the scene so that we could have life. He asked the Lord. He said, Jesus told them, Father, please forgive them, for they know not what they do. So this ain't about bashing nobody. But at the end of the day, when you know you're wrong, you do better. We can't continue to walk in ignorance, people. We can't do it. And at the end of the day, we have to be very clear of what we do and what we say. Friendships, real true friendships was revealed. They were revealed to me before I got married and after I got married. Who's still standing with me? The ones who never left me. I'm trying to tell you something. People sleeping with pastors. You chose to sleep with that pastor. That's your decision that you made. Is he going to make you your wife and make you his wife? No. Because that's not what he desires to do. He desires to be a single pastor. But at the end of the day, he's still a man. People get the man and the titles, all that stuff. But again, I say this clearly. God had to check my heart on some things. That's why I say I see ministry. If you see my post 3 hours ago, 5 hours ago probably, I said my walk is set up differently now. I ain't scared of nobody. I'm not scared of nobody. I really am not. You got people can draw. I know I have the marketplace anointing. I draw people because I'm real and I'm honest. I don't have to lie to these folk. I don't have to lie to these people. People was driving back and forth from Dallas and in all different places. They was just driving. And they were just like, oh, wow, the power of God. Oh, and people was coming to me prophesying, y'all, I see that baby. And I wanted to say to some of these people, we not having sex, so I don't know why you seeing a baby. I started to become delusional about being pregnant. And I was like, this is crazy. You started wanting to be pregnant. You started having all these pregnancy symptoms and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, oh, hell no, I am not pregnant. This is crazy. He ain't even touching me. So how I'm pregnant? I'm not having periods and I had to go to the doctor. And my doctor talked to me. She said, well, Victoria, another reason why you're not having periods is because you're stressing. Your body is not functioning like it needs to be. So that's another reason. So it can bring false alarms. I had to really check myself. Lying to myself. I tell you, lying spirit. I was lying to myself and believing God. We up there going to Minnesota, going to minister to people, and our marriage was in shambles. In shambles. We was in the hotel room. He slept at one end of the bed, I slept at the other end of the bed. That's just what it was. I ain't got to lie. I ain't got to show no receipt. My life speaks for it. And I said, God, I need you to help me. Just help me. Because I ain't crossing over in 20. And he said it when I was driving home and I was talking to some leaders. And I said, I'm not crossing over in 2021 with this burden. Went and got a divorce attorney. I wasn't playing. Next day, bam. Filed them papers quick. When Holy Spirit said, get out, I better obey God. He didn't want me to go home because he knew my family was going to see I was hurting. The last time I was home in 2019, November, I wasn't going to come back. I said, the hell with it. The hell with it. You can't wrong your wife. You can't commit adultery. You can't do any of that stuff. You can't do it. If you gonna do it, don't get married. If you can't be faithful to one wife, don't get married. Stay single. Don't even date because you lonely. Because your tired behind is lonely and horny. Stay your behind in the house. Take yourself out to eat. Learn who you are. I'm in my self-discovering place. So this place that I'm in is self-discovering. It's like, oh God. And I've always been the type to be quiet and say, nah, no. And yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, sir, no, sir. And then it's like, oh, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. But when my child come in it, when my child is involved, oh, I'm coming for you now. Because now you lying. Don't put your mouth on my child. You will never be able to take my child from me. Never, because I'm a fit mother. It won't nothing unfit about me. If anything was unfit, it's that's because I chose to make a foolish decision to get married and leave everything for a nigga. A whole gay nigga. And being gay. Lied to me. And I had to deal with the laughter. Don't come for my baby. Don't post on social media with my baby. Don't dare do it. Take your pictures down. Do what you gotta do. But don't ever, even you gay men that has slept with him and approached me at church, at services, and seen me in stores. So don't come for me. See, a lot of people now they ain't used to seeing this. You know why? Because I keep it together. I'm very, hello, nice. And that's real. That's me. But I got a side too. I got a side. Everybody do. And I keep her under control because I know how she is. But y'all think this is for play. Like, you want to play with somebody, you going to play with my life or my child's. She's still going to be great. Greater than me. I'm still going to be greater as he that's within me. So don't do that. Nobody knows, again, I repeat, nobody knows what nobody go through. And that's why I say I mind the business that pays me. Everybody wants to say they're doing kingdom. Everybody wants to say they're doing kingdom. But you constantly putting your mouth on people who doing kingdom. Everybody knows. Nobody don't want to be cheated on, and people try to say, oh, that's life. It happens. It ain't going to happen no more for me. Because if anybody in their right mind, if you know you got a bad wife and you got a wife that's going to be with you, what's the point of you cheating on her? What's the point of you lying to her? What's the point of you being on drugs? You don't need to pastor nobody till you get your life together. My daughter, she said to me 2-3 days ago, she said, Mommy, I miss him. She said, but I don't like how he did us. I always wanted a dad. Now she's building her relationship with her biological father. Because I told Jayla, you got a father. You just got to build it, baby. And I told her father, hey, if you're going to come into her life, if you're going to come into her life, if you're going to come into her life, stay consistent. I'm protecting my child. But don't come for my baby. I cut my hair to be attractive. I cut my hair to be attracted to him. I did a whole lot of stuff. Did a lot of stuff just for him to touch me. Didn't touch me. I did a lot of things. And Jayla had this image in her head. She kept saying, Mommy, Daddy, and Mommy, Daddy, and she said, Mommy, we're supposed to be a family. This is supposed to be a family. We're supposed to be a family. She said, Mommy, he was preaching this stuff, but he was living it. He was preaching against this stuff, but he was doing it. My daughter was like, it was plenty of nights she was up hearing things. And she was like, oh my gosh, Mommy, if you only knew. And the information that was told to me was affecting her mentally, where she told her therapist and she told her psychiatrist. So they said, this information we really need to share with you. Please protect her mind. Please protect who she's around. Please. My daughter was going to commit suicide. What hurt the most was that they wouldn't allow me to touch Jayla while she was in the hospital room. They wouldn't allow me to touch her. And Jayla was so spaced out. She was very spaced out. And her being spaced out really affected me because I was like, this is not my child. But the child that I saw on Christmas Day, she was so happy. She didn't have a Christmas for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. So, it was, and the reason why she didn't have no Christmas was because all the money was gone. All of it. Her teacher, her second grade teacher, made sure she had a Christmas. Miss Lewis. My family was sending money. My sister, she bought her a bed. And me and my sister, we talked about it and it's over with. But she said, I feel like I do more for you than you do for me, mine. But I couldn't even have the guts to tell my sister, like, sis, you don't know what I'm in. You don't know what I'm in. And if I could just have the words to tell you, like, what I'm in, I can't get out. I'm married into it. I'm told I can't get out. I'm told you ain't going nowhere. I'm told this. I couldn't even tell my sister, listen, I don't have no control over my money. I'm making the money, but I don't have no access. It was told to people on live, oh, she can do whatever she want with the money. My wife is spoiled. My wife is this and that. But I ain't had access. I had to get permission to go get money. And if I spent too much, it was, you spent too much on groceries. You did this, you did that. So I said, you know what? I won't deal with the money. I couldn't tell my sister, hey, I booked a flight, but I couldn't come home for your wedding. I couldn't come. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there for the surprise baby shower. I wanted to be there, but I was being controlled. I was called to be For my family to, for me to turn against my family, these people rock with me. I couldn't tell my sister that I can't come home. I want to come. I booked the ticket, but I can't come. I ended up getting sick. I couldn't come home. I wanted to, it was many times I wanted to come home. Many times I wanted to call and say, hey, y'all, come get me in jail. But I couldn't. God had me to stand in it. He said, daughter, I'm going to get you out. But I'm not going to get you out that easy because I want you to learn. And I said, God, it's a hard lesson. But I learned. I didn't have to devalue myself. I didn't have to take the lower. I didn't have to settle. I didn't have to. I saw how my sister was so happy at her wedding, and I was like, man, I missed. We talked about these days. I was hurt because I was like, man, I wasn't there. I could have been there for my sister, but I couldn't. I couldn't. Nobody knows what that pain is like. My mama had surgery. I tried to come home. I just became the director of a school. I couldn't do it. I didn't have the money. The money was being mishandled, misused. I couldn't. My great-grandmother passed away. People was like, you took care of your great-grandmama while you wasn't there. I couldn't. Because I was being controlled. Everybody said, Victoria, you was bold, you was bubbly, you stood up for what was right. But once that person breaks you down emotionally and chops you up and spits you out, it was God that put me back together. It was God that stood me through in my prayers. And it was God that told me to go on fasting and praying and consecrating myself. It was God. It wasn't people. Days I called my sister crying, and I was all over the place. I was rambling. I couldn't say what I wanted to say because I had to delete my phone conversations of who I talked to, and I had to delete my text messages because I didn't want my ex-husband to see what I typed and who I talked to. I couldn't do it. And my sister was like, never lose your voice. When I made that post a year ago, I made a post about losing yourself in a man. I was talking about me. I was talking about me. There was times when I wanted to call my overseer and say, overseer, can I just come? Can I just come stay with you and not come back? Can I just run and hide? And God said, no, can't run and hide. I couldn't tell my mama everything. I couldn't tell my mama how we was in the kitchen and it was that day I confronted him after Dr. Stacks came. And I said, did you tell the people that you was messaging all these men? You trying to sit up here and say all this stuff? Did you tell the people? I was in the kitchen. I tried to take the keys to the van. And he snatched the keys and he said, give me the keys. That's my van. I paid for it anyway, but it was my money. And pinned me up against the wall. And choked me till I passed out. That was the first. Well, that was the second time. Because the first time was in 2017. And I tried to leave. And I said, you lied to me. And pinned me up against the wall and in the closet. Because Jella's room was a closet. Jella didn't have a room. And I was trying to lie to my family. I tried to lie to them. And like, oh yeah, Jella liked the room. And I made up lies so that I wouldn't be looked down on. And that's what some family members do, or some individuals do. They lie because they be ashamed of where they are. But people constantly put their mouth on me. Or people I'm connected to. It ain't kingdom. It's not kingdom. that spirit just tried to take the life out of me. And the bruises and my wrists, and I still got to wear it from time to time. But I'm free, y'all. Y'all don't understand. This very house that I was beat up in, I'm literally free. My daughter don't pee on the bed no more. My daughter was peeing on the bed. She's 9. My daughter kept peeing on herself. I said, why you keep peeing on herself? And then she finally told the truth and told what was going on, and she just stopped peeing on herself. The whole time while she was in North Carolina, she didn't pee on herself. But when she came back to Houston, she started back peeing on herself. And my sister was like, man, something's going on. What's happening? But Jayla was keeping a whole lot of stuff on the inside. And Jayla wasn't talking. And my daughter acts a lot like my sister. She really does. They birthdays a month apart, and they act just alike. And if my sister's mad at me, she doesn't say much. She's very short and distant. If she's good with me, she talks to me every day, texts me every day, even married or not. But she was like, Victoria, when you get married, you don't supposed to switch up. You don't supposed to change up on your friends. But I was that one that changed up on my friends, and I was married. It was because I changed up because I was in a controlling relationship. They felt like I loved my friends more than I loved them, or I loved my family more than I loved them. So I was trying to prove that I loved them too. That's what I did. And I was like just trying to make everybody happy. That's it. My mama happy. You know, I just try to make everybody happy, be proud of me. And so when I made my statement this week on my post on, I don't have to prove nothing. I don't have to show up or prove nothing to nobody but God. And make sure I'm present for my daughter. That's exactly what I said. And when I did that, I started feeling freedom break off of me then. Like I said, I didn't understand it all. You know, I wanted a baby so bad. I wanted a baby so bad. It's like now, I'm like, hey, the hell with it. My spiritual mom, she walked me through it. And I called her and I said, Mama, I said, people don't know my pain. Like, I still went to church praising God because I knew it was God that allowed me to still be here. I told my spiritual mom in Georgia, Mama Dones, many people was laughing, talking about Mama Dones was the truth. I said, she is. And my spiritual mom, that day I called her, she said, when you leave in Texas? I said, Mama, I can't leave. I can't leave right now. I got to stay. And she said, okay. I had to hear God. And there was another thing I had to understand, that I didn't have to prove to my family that I was a prophet. I didn't have to prove to my family who I was. I didn't have to prove anything. But I felt like I had to prove who I was. And I said, you know, I'm tired of trying to prove. I'm tired of keeping my mouth closed. I'm tired. You know, people was condemning me because I cussed. People was condemning me because, oh, you're a preacher. You're supposed to do this and that. And I'm like, listen. If I say hell, ass, it was just like, listen, I'm honest with myself. Keep praying for me. I've held in so much stuff. Held in a lot. At tables that I never thought I would, before great men. And I never thought I would ever be at these tables. I was reaching out and I said, where is the people? And I look, it wasn't that many. I got inboxes that people was praying for me. I got inboxes that, you know, we praying for you. People was coming, giving me information that I had no clue about. I didn't know. I had no clue. Some people thought I was in agreement. And my sister, she said, I'm glad you out there, shit. That's what she said. She said, because I'd kill a nigga. And I know that day when he said to me, God had me here for his spirit and not his flesh, I ran in the room and I cried in my pillow and I said, God, please, Lord. I said, I will not live in a lie. I won't live in a lie again. I won't live in a lie no more. Done living in lies, carrying this lying spirit. So when you sleep with these folk, you pick up all kinds of spirits that you've been delivered from. And they come back 7 times worse. Talking about a soul tie. Those spirits come back on you so strong. You be like, where did this come from? I'm married to a man and I'm having to sit back into masturbation to please myself. Because this man was not sleeping with me. And then told me, that's your fault that you masturbating. I ain't tell you to masturbate. You let a spirit come on you. And I ain't sleeping with you because you had a spirit. I mean, I'm at women conferences talking to the women. And I'm telling the women, hey, I had a spirit on me, so my husband wouldn't sleep with me. And some of the women like, yeah. And then the old mothers was like, oh, no, baby, he's struggling. He's still in that life to say that to you because he should be waxing it down. And this is the type of stuff that I was constantly playing in my mind. I was playing this stuff in my head like, what's wrong with me? Many times I wanted to call home. I wanted to, but I couldn't. I wanted to, but I couldn't. It hurt. One of the mothers left the ministry, and she didn't leave because she just stopped coming. She didn't leave. She just stopped coming. And I talked about it yesterday. But it hurt. I said, man, it's good people. We didn't have no meat, no food to cook. And she brought meat to the house. This is in 2018. And she said, Lady V, I got you and that baby. You and that baby gonna eat. If anything, I ain't feeding these grown niggas, but I'm gonna make sure y'all eat. That's what Mother Erica told me. And when she left and her family left, I was crushed because I said, dang, every time somebody comes to the ministry that's for me, they end up leaving. They end up getting hurt. They ended up getting hurt, and I had to go back to these families and apologize to them because I was married to them. I took that fall. I took the blame. I took it. And she said, baby, I already forgave you. She opened with open arms. She loved on me. She said, Lady V, it wasn't you. She said, I just couldn't deal with that spirit because I wasn't going to allow that spirit to lie to me. A lot of my daughters, you know, just different things that was going on, different things that was being said. And I just was like, Mother, I'm sorry. So the things that he dealt with other people individually, I still took account for it because we was a unit. We was together. And I took the blame. And my mom, she was hurt. My daughter wearing clothes, like my daughter's growing out of clothes. And she ain't got no clothes. Anybody that knew me knew Jayla had everything. This girl had clothes all the way till she was 2 years old. And she still had clothes till she was 4 years old. Jayla never had a one for nothing. He was like, oh, she too spoiled. I'm going to show her what. He showed us what being homeless looked like. Baby, you can get what you want. Oh, yeah, you can get that one outfit. Oh, we still got this to pay. We still got that to pay. But you won't do nothing with the money besides going get hotel rooms and doing drugs. These people came back and lied. These people came back. I mean, but then you gonna lie on me and say you try to get it right with me? I left you. I didn't stay with you for better, for worse. People try to tell me, oh, you were supposed to stay for worse. Those vows. I can't let nobody say. I ain't letting nobody stay. I'm not staying with no man that's going to be beating on me. He's not going to be beating on me, choking me. He's not going to do it. I'm not staying in a marriage like that. I'm not. I got out. I know what it's like to be in that. To be putting your hands on and think it's okay. And then we go back to church. We went back to church the next Sunday like nothing happened. These two individuals, Pastor Colleen and that David, was in this house when they saw him put his hands on me and I passed out. We didn't call the police, but the next time I told him, I said, you put your hands on me again, I'm calling the police. And I did. I called the police. I called the police. And I took a stand. So I'm taking a stand for all you women who have been in domestic violence. And you still in it. Ain't got nothing to do with title. Ain't got nothing to do with Pastor Rob. But if he's very controlling, possessive, listen, get out. Because once it goes from verbal, it starts emotional first. Then it goes from emotional to verbal. Then from verbal, it goes to sexual abuse. And then it goes from sexual abuse to physical abuse. So it has its stages. Emotional abuse is consists of controlling. That's what that is. It consists of controlling, possessiveness. You don't have a sense of independency. Talking against your family, downplaying your family, trying to make it seem like your family is the worst thing ever, or, turning you against your kids. Please get out. Get some help. Go to a shelter. The domestic violence crisis line, I didn't have to call them. Because I immediately, my overseer walked me through it. And she helped me get through it. My Mama Dones helped me get me through it. And still walking with me. Didn't leave me hanging. I just felt like those who said they was my sisters, those was my brothers, those that really was there for us in the beginning, and then it was just like they just weeded out, they just faded out, and I didn't know why. But those who saw or heard, reached out to me personally, made sure me and Jella was okay. Do you need anything? My girl Tia out in VA, she made sure Jella and I was good. My cousin Trail, my sister Princess, my mom, my grandma, my godmama Sid, the Thompsons out in PA, Alicia Faust, man, it was so many that it was less than 20 that helped us, that really helped me. My parents of Kingdom Care Academy, they ran my car to the ground. I had to go get another car. My business was shut down because of anonymous tip that I was running a school that didn't have no van. So I ended up getting a van the same day. Man, when I tell you, my mom, Talberts and Daryl, they was there, still there. Like the names that you hear, these people are still there. They still check on me. Lady Boom, Rochelle Boom, the Walkers, they made sure, we was okay and I had a place to come if I needed something to eat. Just Lady Rochelle, the Johnsons, Pastor Johnson, all these people, the ones that I'm naming, they really was there. And the Millers, oh my goodness, Pastor Calvin, Pastor Helen Miller, they was there for us. They was there. Prophetess Erica Montgomery, her and her husband, they was there for us. I mean, the Deanna Burke, my life insurance agent, she was there. Like, everybody was there. Those who I'm calling, they was there. These names I'm calling, the Papa Troy and Lady Tammy, Tammy Ross, they was there. These people was there and consistent. They was consistent. My cousin PJ and my auntie Pedro, my Aunt Darlene, like my Aunt Felicia and her husband, they was there, man. They was there. Like, they loved on me. They checked on me. And I didn't feel no type of way if people didn't check on me every day. But they checked on me. They was like, you okay? You good? Some days I wasn't okay. And Mama Dones, I thank God for her life. That's why I told her, I bless her. I bless her life. I honor her life. Because she said, baby, it's okay for you to feel how you feel. Overseer Lynn said, it's okay. I understand you hurt. And people got to understand, when you're covering, your leaders are covering you, they hurting because they didn't condone divorce. That's not what they agreed upon. People don't understand that. I did not want to get a divorce. I didn't want to get a divorce. The Coopers, oh my gosh. Pastor Cooper and Apostle Cooper, Garrett Cooper and Cindy Cooper, they covered me. They loved on me. They opened their home to us. They say, listen, you can stay here. You don't have to go back home. Mama Clara, I mean, it was just a lot of people. If I didn't mention our name, and I know you was there for me, Keisha, Cherry, I mean, I'm telling you, if I didn't mention your name, listen, I'm sorry. I'm not even reading no comments because my brother told me to take the comments off. You know, it's just different things. Like, it was just a lot. But I'm so free. It's so free. My author, my best friend, Tamika, she never walked away from me. When I was wrong, she would let me know when I was wrong. But when I started to open up and tell her what really was going on, it was a lot. Our lights was cut off 4 times. 4 times. Lights was cut off. Had to keep switching light companies because he wouldn't pay the bill. Bill got up to $1,000. Unpaid light bill. My landlord said, oh, you didn't know the rent was $14,000 behind? No. He told me not to tell you. My mother listening like, what? But he still needed his money. Where me and Jetta was going to go? We could have went back to North Carolina, but I had a business. I had kids that I'm teaching and training and building them up to have a voice. I teach my kids to have a voice. One of my babies, Bentley, he is 18 months old, 19 months old. About to be 20 months old this month. 21 months. 20 months. And he's talking. He's been talking for months now. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love what I do. I have people say, no, don't say this, don't say that. But when you come for my child and you start trying to rebuke and check me and do all this stuff, I ain't gonna fly with this one. I ain't built like that. Because when you're wrong, you're wrong. But I was not going to. God didn't say no reconciliation. I had people prophesying and lying and saying, oh, God going to reconcile your marriage. No, that's not what God's going to do. That's not what God said, and that's not what God's going to do. Nobody can prophesy to me. You can't prophesy to me about no house, no car, no. You can't prophesy to me about that stuff. You want to prophesy to me peace. Prophesy joy. Prophesy love. Prophesy the fruit of the Spirit. Prophesy Bible. And our landlord was amazing and still is. Even though he come with his threatening text messages sometimes. But I tell him, I said, you already know what you agreed upon in May, in July. You already know what you agreed upon. Don't come with that crazy stuff today. Because you money binge. They ain't got nothing to do with that. My rate went from, I lost kids during COVID. I lost during the pandemic. When I tried to file for the PPE loan, it was out of money. PPL, I did that. I did a whole lot of stuff to try to keep myself afloat, but God told me to trust him. And I did. I trusted God. I trusted God on so many levels. And I was like, I don't know what else to do. My daughter got to go to gymnastics. Then I was blessed where one of my friends, Bruce, he said, you know what? I would sponsor her. I had somebody else sponsor her 1 month and somebody else sponsor Jayla to go to gymnastics. And I was just like, God, I'm thanking you, God. And that's why I kept saying, God, I thank you. God made ways. My mama paid my car payment last month. And mama said, Vic, just hang on in there, baby. Just graduated nursing, getting my CNA and going back for my RN. And I told my mama, I said, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to push no longer on mute. I'm going to push the book. I'm going to push my next book that's about to be dropped. I'm going to push it. I'm going to do what's never necessary. Come a grinder. I don't call big for nothing. Never have. I didn't have to do any of that. But I couldn't keep doing this and I couldn't keep doing stuff. And I couldn't keep doing it. Knowing goodness well that I was suffering. I couldn't help people when I was suffering. And I said, God, just give me another opportunity to do right. Give me another opportunity to do right by my folk, my family. You know, just give me another opportunity. And God said, your next opportunity is for Jayla. Do right by Jayla. Do right by her. Protect her emotions. Protect her heart. And that's my focus, is to protect Jayla. Everything else can happen later. Not even focus on that. Somebody, you know, people's like, oh, you're going to get married again and this, and that. It's like, listen, yeah, in God's timing. I'm not bitter, though. Not bitter at all. I refuse to deal with any foolishness. I'm sorry to all of you. Pastor Chelany, I'm sorry to you for what you went through in the ministry. I'm sorry, Mother Erica. I'm sorry. Those of you who was a part of the ministry, I'm sorry for what happened in the ministry and how things was mishandled in the ministry. You guys didn't have a voice when y'all did speak up. I repent to all of y'all that was a part of the ministry. I really do. And you guys saw the manipulation and control, but you guys didn't want to say anything to divide the marriage. What y'all did was y'all backed up. I apologize publicly to Prophetess Erica Montgomery, who stood in the gap. I publicly apologize to you. You and Pastor Brian Montgomery. Excuse me. I publicly apologize. Loretta, all of you who were there, who was a part of the ministry, I publicly apologize to you all that you guys had to go through any type of heartaches in concern to ministry. I just know how I was treated in ministry when I was condemned. I was condemned, just because of having a baby at 16. Well, pregnant with 16, I had to get an abortion. So I know what it's like to be in a ministry prematurely, immature ministry, because the leader is immature or whatever. I publicly apologize, But my grandmother, thank God for Diane Parker for her wisdom, her counsel on how to handle people. I just thank God for all of you. I really do. Most definitely my heart goes out to those that really, really cared about me. Those who really cared about me. And I thank God that there was true people that really cared, that I knew. I know now who's who. I know now who is who. And I thank God that I know real people. I drove to see Chelanie to Waco 3 hours and drove 3 hours back. I had my school open the next morning. And Chelanie just, all she could do was just look at me and just was like, she didn't even know, had no words, but she loved on me. She loved on me. So my family was so concerned because I didn't have no family here. They was like, you just need to pack you and Jayla and come home. My family is crazy about Jayla. Crazy. And about me too. But once I had that little girl, it's just like family just was just like, listen, we're going to be there for Jayla. But y'all don't. That's why I say y'all don't know. If you're going to be kingdom, be kingdom. Be kingdom. Be kingdom. And kingdom is being light. People saying God don't be exposing. God did a lot of exposing. He exposed their sin. He exposed their wrongdoing. He even exposed the things that they did publicly. Great reward. God does it all. But God sent messengers. He sent people to bring warning for destruction and get people's houses in order. I mean, he did it all. Again, I have nothing against the lifestyle of those who are in the homosexual lifestyle. Live your truth. That's your truth. That's your fact. I make that very clear. It's your truth. That's your fact. I still love you. I still love you. I'm genuine, very genuine. I mean, it doesn't affect me. All I can do is be a light. And if I'm being a light and you're around me and you're in that lifestyle, hey, I just love, period. But you're not going to tell me you're not of it and then you turn around and you're still in it. And then say, you're saying you're not, I meant to say you're no longer in it, but you're in it. It just don't work like that. I mean, it's just the twisted mentality of people. So, I believe I said everything I needed to say. And I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Something going on with my phone. I don't know what's going on with it. I only see like 23 people or something. I don't know. I can't see nothing. I guess Facebook just did something crazy. Maybe somebody reported my live. I don't know. But I appreciate y'all so much. My family in North Carolina, I love y'all. And I'm not hurt. And I'm not bitter. So I need people to understand something. I dealt with all that behind the scenes. I'm the ones that saw my hurt and my pain was the one that was closest to me. So where I am at now, I'm in a place of walking through my healing and walking out my freedom. Trying to keep, a roof over me and my daughter's head. I ain't begging nobody for no dollar. I did programs, doing the assistance program. I've done everything I needed to do. And everything else is on God. I trust God with my life. I love God with my life. Love Him with my whole life. And I live for God for real. I don't have to go around here telling people I'm a prophet and I'm this, I'm that. I don't have to do any of that stuff because my life speaks for that. My life speaks that. So for every woman, again, if you did not hear me, if you are in, even a man, if you're in a domestic violence relationship or marriage, get you some help, get you to a place of safety. Again, I honor Pastor Calvin Miller and Pastor Helen Miller for taking Jayla in those days when I couldn't care for her. Because I was trying to make sure that I was protected, that we was protected. I made sure we was protected. I had to do what I needed to do. I had to go get I had a concealed carry in North Carolina. I had to go get another concealed carry. It was just like a whole lot of stuff that we had to do. A whole lot of stuff. I had to do. My best friend, she sent the seed to us, and I said, it's your birthday. I felt so bad because I couldn't send nothing to my best friend, because she always does something sweet. We always, we always doing stuff for each other. We look out for each other because she got 2 single boys. Everybody know Tamika Smith, my coach, my book coach, and people just don't know. They'll never know. I don't know. And I kept my daughter away from me so that she can be happy. Because anytime you bring it up around her, she gets sad, she gets depressed. My daughter had to be on, Lexapro, an antidepressant, because the people said she wasn't suicidal. It was just a lot. People who really knew my daughter. And we went to the hospital, like I said. It was tough. And I felt bad because I came into a ministry. Pastor Chill could tell y'all, came into a ministry and I didn't feel accepted. I didn't. So it was like, oh, she better than you. Oh, you think you better than everybody. Because I didn't live like a peasant. I didn't live like a peasant. I didn't live like that. I don't care what nobody say. I didn't live like that. Everybody knew I lived nice. I drove nice. My money was good. Everybody knew that. But I'm telling y'all, please get out. If you in ministry and your husband is beating on you or your wife beating on you, go see your leaders. And leaders, let me tell you something. It's your responsibility as a clergy member, as a clergy. It's your responsibility to contact the police. Because if that person dies and you knew that they was in abuse in the state of Texas, if you are a clergy pastor, let me let y'all know this. If you're clergy, it's your responsibility to let authorities know, and it's your responsibility. If it's in a public place, you are to get a restraining order filed against that person, or a no trespassing order. That's what it is. A no trespassing order. So that person could protect. And I just dealt with a situation like this. Listen. I took in a family recently. This happened 2 weeks ago. And this man, the mom and the children, I had a daughter stay at my home last week. This happened 2 weeks ago. And I told the little girl, I said, you can stay here. The older sister, she got out of school. She said, well, Miss Victoria, can I help you? I said, yes. My daughter was coming home. She said, Mama, they daddy beating on them. They daddy molesting them. And I said, Jayla, I don't get involved in that stuff because they're going to put me in it. I said, Jayla, I don't mind the little girl coming over here playing. Then they seen the mama came up over here on a Tuesday. And she said, can she stay here because I'm leaving? The daughter came over here with no clothes, no shoes. She said, can she stay here? I said, yes, she can stay here. I said, but I'm going to tell you this. If he come anywhere near my daughter, he come anywhere near these kids, I'm calling the police. That's what I told her. I said, but he has to be in my vicinity. He has to be on my street for me to do anything. And when I tell you this, 2 days later, the man was at the bus stop waiting for the daughters to get off the bus. And Jayla ran home screaming. This happened just recently, last week. Screaming. Banging on the door. Mama, 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 please let me out. I'm like, what's going on? I'm getting ready to go pick up my kids after school. Jayla done dropped her books, her backpack, done dropped everything. And the man approached me. I said, you know what? I know what to do. Go right up there. I went and got Jayla's stuff. He said, ma'am, can I please talk to you? I just want to talk to my daughters. I said, I don't know you. I don't know what's going on with you. I'm coming to pick up my daughter's things. Anything you got to say, you need to stay at this street. Don't you come to my house. Went across the street, told my neighbors, Miss Danielle and them, I told them what was going on. Told Miss Diddy what was going on. And they said, don't worry about Miss Victoria. We got it. Because my whole street loaded. Whole street. So, immediately, I talked to the mama. The mama said, why you call the police? And this is what I said. You got these kids in this, and you think it's a game. I ain't filing no papers against him. That's dumb. Don't you ever say that. Those papers gonna get me killed. It killed my mama. Listen, I don't care who it killed. Not in that sense, but you got to protect your kids. If this man is beating on you and your kids and molesting your kids, whatever he's doing, you need to take protection. And put a protective order against this man so he won't come near you, and let the police handle it. Don't try to work it out yourself and I'm going to just up and leave, because that's what my last ex-husband did. Listen, get some help. Please. Go get help. I don't care. Drugs, no drugs. Get your kids out. Get them out. Go. The church will open up their doors and let you stay in a back room somewhere till you get it right. But don't go back to your abuser. If you never file protection order or file assault charges, you're going to go back to your abuser. And some people say, well, no, if you still talking to your abuser, you condone domestic violence. Well, he changed, he don't be nobody no more. Okay, he may have. And some people can change. I'm not taking it away. But if they still dealing with the same stuff and they still beat on you like that, they still doing this stuff, listen, get out. It did get worse every time you go back. When he put his hands on me the first time, it jacked me up in the closet. I was supposed to go back to North Carolina. I didn't need to stay here. I was supposed to pack my car up and drive back. File the protection order, file for the divorce, and go back. I was only married for 2 months. 2017. So if I went through it, then I'm telling y'all, get out of it. It's real. Domestic violence is real. My best friend, she almost lost her life because she had to take her kids in the middle of the night and go live in a shelter. Tamika did. And when you get an abuser, you have to leave that. You have to leave it alone. You can't play with your life like that. You got kids. And this woman had a nerve to text me. You caused me the CPS is calling and threatening to take my kids. I have nothing to do with that. Your kids aren't safe with you because you choosing to still stay with this man who is beating on you. You cannot get mad at somebody when they say, I'm calling Child Protective Services because you're not a parent who protecting your child. And they will put your child in a foster home. If you can't take care of your kid and you choosing to love this man, listen, drop your kids off to somebody who's going to love on them and sign over your rights. No, you're not coming back and get these kids. No. Pastor Chalany did that. She said, listen, you're not a fit mother right now. I would take your kids and do what I need to do with your kids because you're not fit. And it's nothing wrong with you telling your girlfriend, listen, girl, let me take your kids. Because you blinded. That's witchcraft. They in control. So they being Jezebel. They being controlled by this spirit. They're being controlled by it. And then take them kids. Or call the police. They getting beat over there. You need to get some help. So what I did was I called 911. And I got me some help. Protection. Because I was like, this is crazy. I know this man is crazy. I done seen it before my eyes and I kept making up lies in my head that this man is crazy. And this woman told me, you wrong for calling the police. They threatened to take my kids. I'm going back. Well, I don't care what you do. But I know one thing. Your child nor you are welcome to my home. Because we just got out of a situation like that. And I don't bring that type of stuff around my child nor me. I don't play them kind of games with no. I'm a good mother. A darn good one. And I'm daggone that listen to what I'm saying, that I bring that around my daughter again. I done it one time. Then doing it again. Number 2. Oh, no. Nope. So, I say this to you. Call the domestic violence hotline. Let me get this number. And I'm off of here. Because I got a great day to run my school tomorrow. Let me give y'all this number for domestic violence awareness. Matter of fact, on my black thing. For domestic violence awareness. I had my paper. I done took them out. Black, where my black? Oh, there it is. Whoever is on here, because I can take the comments off, because I'm getting ready to go and finish out my day. But those of you who need the 1-800 number for domestic violence, and everything that I'm saying to you is no lie, it's all public record. So to all those haters out there, if you're in the Harris County area, but if you just need a number to domestic violence, 1-800-799-SAFE, the domestic violence hotline. If you need and if you're in the state of Texas, you need aid to victims of domestic abuse, the Batterers Intervention and Prevention Program. That's 713-224-9911. If you got a problem with drugs or alcoholism, you can call the Alcoholics Anonymous line. That's 713-686-6300. That's 713-686-6300. Lot of resources right here. They gave me a whole packet. They gave me a whole packet. The case is still pending for my ex-husband. They continued the case for February. It's supposed to be in November, but they continued it. The assault case, impeding breath. It's a felony in the state of Texas. That was the charge. It was public. You got to get delivered. People got to get free. I had to fill out all that paperwork, fax it in, send it in, all that stuff. at the end of the day, they moving real slow on a lot of things. Oh, now I can see y'all comments. I guess something done did something. But I believe I'm okay. I thank the Trouble Movement for honoring me, for making a difference. I really appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. I done took my exit. I'm moving forward. And now I hear everything God tells me to do. So any words of wisdom on tonight? I pray on tonight that God, that you heard something with an ear. When you see here, you take the H off in his ear. And I'm making sure that I take the necessary precautions for my daughter and I. Again, I'm not afraid. If anything is to be done, as I say, keep my daughter and I lifted in prayer. Keep us covered. This is my story. This is not just my truth, but it is the truth. I will no longer be silent and stand for a lot of things that has been done. You got a lot of people who are involved in a lot of things that are just not godly. But I'm nobody's judge. I'm not here to judge you. That's not my problem, but my responsibility is to bring awareness. That's my responsibility. My responsibility is to bring awareness. I love marriage. I love love. Nowhere near bitter. Nowhere near, I'm going to say it again, nowhere near bitter, nowhere near hurt. But God has really saw me through this thing alive. To lose my vocals, to lose to my insides of my vocals was bleeding, throat was swollen, all that stuff. To have bruises all over my body was really crazy. It was I never thought I would experience that. I mean, I heard the horror stories of first ladies going through it. Not all first ladies are going through it. Not all first ladies are going through that type of stuff. But I will say this: pray for the first ladies. Pray for them. Because they carry a lot of weight. They deal with a lot of emotions. They have to deal with the weight of husband traveling out of the country, out of state, go through those lonely periods. But if they're a solid husband and wife, they will constantly stay in communication. The wife is traveling with the wife. The wife is traveling with the husband's traveling with the wife, vice versa. Sometimes they can't always be together because they still got to take care of their home front. And not everybody is looking for your tithes and offerings to cover their home. You just got to be able to have an ear to hear and know if they have the Spirit of God, and you have to have discernment in this hour. And you have to make sure that you really know whose you are and who's your identity. Who you are, and know your identity. If you're dealing with any type of identity crisis and you are in a marriage, you really need to get some type of professional help. I tell anybody, there's nothing wrong with therapy and Jesus too. You need help. It's a lot of mental illness going on in the church. Specifically, it's because people saying they praying, they fasting, they doing all kinds of stuff. But you really need to get some help. Jayla and I are still getting therapy because we need it. We've been traumatized. We've been through a lot of trauma. And way before this marriage, I was traumatized, just a lot. It was just a lot. This ain't even the whole story. This is just, y'all just getting half. And I know you're like, y'all, that's more? Yeah, it's more. But that don't even need to be said. I believe I said what the Lord wanted me to say. And if you are in the homosexual lifestyle and you are married, and your wife does not know, leave her alone and get you some help. Get you some help. And you got some women that will stand. Say, yeah, I know he dealt with it. I love him. And I did. I was one of those women that knew, and I stood. Even with the social apps and stuff, I stood. But until it's time to go. So, I love y'all. Be blessed. I guess I'll go back and read the comments because I don't know what happened to the comments. Bro told me to swipe the comments. When I try to come back, I only see like Tamika watching. I can only see like my friends watching. Like Mother Erica, Lady Suzette. It's saying watching, but it's not showing comments. It's just saying like I'm watching. I don't know. I ain't even worrying about it. I'm not deleting this live. I'm keeping it up. So do not inbox me about deleting my lives. Okay. Yeah. It's emotional for me right now because I said no, I won't do nothing like that. I would never get on social media. I would never do that, you know. I just say, I beat around the bush and I say certain things, but ain't nobody really gonna know, you know, what's going on. It's just, people just gotta know what they know if they in my inner circle, my close circle. But the Holy Ghost had to let me know what's going on is not kingdom. It ain't kingdom. People are saying his name in vain, and it's not kingdom. It's just not kingdom. And he said that. He said it clear as day. It's not kingdom. It's two kingdoms going on, darkness and light. And he's tired. And I was using my voice in posting and typing. I was using my voice posting and typing, and I didn't know what God was doing. When the Lord dropped no longer on mute on me, I was like, okay, no longer on mute. And it happened. I had to be the book. My book of what I wrote in my book. I got many books that I'm breaking out in 2021. And I just said, God, you going to use me like this? And he said, yep. Because other people are going through what I just pulled you out of. So I pray on tonight, somebody's life was changed. So I pray on tonight, somebody's eyes was open. I haven't really had the spirit to pray for others because I was praying for myself. I was praying for my daughter. When people was inboxing me, that was tiring too. People was inboxing me saying, woman of God, what the Lord is saying. I started blocking people. It was like nobody would pimp my gift. I was tired of lying leaders. We're here for you. We love you. I never looked for a platform. I've always had a following. I always had a platform that wasn't something. God put me here. You know, I didn't make my name. God made my name. My mother birthed me my name. So I didn't understand my name. But I understand that I'm very victorious. But I will not be addressing all this dumb stuff that people was inboxing me. I will not be addressing that. If you got receipts, people already had told me, and I already spoke to Larry Reed. You know, I've known Larry Reed since I was a little girl, since I was 19, and I was going to Pastor Tyler's church. And I was just like, listen, I already know how Larry Reed rolled. I already know. So, you know, when they was like, oh, he got the receipts, I was like, oh, okay. Cool. And I got over the shame and embarrassment. I was very ashamed, very embarrassed. I thank God for Lady Beverly. I thank God for Lady Beverly. Definitely, because she was praying me through, and I was reaching out to prominent prophets and pastors that I knew who had a praying life, and I just was reaching out and inboxing those. I was like, listen, can you please pray for me? And some head dropped down, and they, you know, some prayed, some had a prophetic word. It was just different stuff. So I just was like, God, I just don't understand. I was like, where's the church? Like, where is the church? These people, they're liars. I was like, they're all liars. Everybody say, oh, I felt you in my spirit. When? When did you feel me in your spirit? When was you praying for me? When? Because when I really need you to pray for me, when I really needed you, like, where were you? And that's when God was like, well, you wasn't talking. I gave you a mouth to speak. You wasn't talking. And that was because I was covered. Love covers a multitude of sin. And so, and love covers a multitude of fault. So, I loved them where I covered them. And one thing I had to understand is that you can't cover what God is uncovering. When I heard that, I said, wow. And I didn't hear it from God. Heard it from my overseer. Didn't make sense. But I now understand. You can't cover wrong. You can't cover it. Eventually, it's going to be exposed. So those of you who are dealing with spirit of lying, spirit of perversion, spirit of jealousy, spirit of whoredom, I had to repent to God on so many levels. Because I was like, God, I'm up here masturbating. And I feel so bad. I mean, I got to get this off of me. Like, God, I'm going to do this and you're going to have to forgive me later because I'm in my marriage and feeling like this. I'm out of my marriage. I'm feeling like this. But I had people really praying for me. You can't cover what God is uncovering. That's just what it is. You can't cover wrong. That's what's happening. A lot of people are covering wrong. Everybody say they're your sister. I found out people that weren't my sisters. I didn't do the gossiping thing. I didn't do that. Because that wasn't how I rolled. That just wasn't how I did things. If I talked to my sister, I talked to my sister and I was talking about myself. When I was wrong, I was wrong. And that's what I want y'all leaders to understand. Y'all human. Y'all are human. Y'all are human. Everybody was like, oh, what happened to Sophia Ruppin? What happened? What happened? Nothing happened. It's just that the conference didn't happen. That's just what it is. I didn't take nobody money because ain't nobody sold but two people sold. And those two people, one person, she got her money back. And the other person said, listen, I'm good. Bless you and your daughter. That was Pastor T, Lady T, as a vendor. And nobody else sold in that conference. So those people that said my name was tagged on a post, if you owe money, please see Victoria Nicole Hooks at that time, or Washington at the time. I was like, I don't know why y'all contacted me because it wasn't no money. Nobody didn't invest or sow into it. Wasn't nobody coming to no conference during no pandemic. Wasn't nobody coming. Just that's what it was. But before the title, and leaders, we got to understand something. Before the title, you are somebody's husband, you're somebody's wife, you're somebody's mother, you're somebody's father. Your child don't care nothing about your title. We force our kids to go to church. That's why I tell now Jayla, I don't force her to go to church because I know she has a relationship with God. But we go because we give God thanks. We go because we love God. We know what he's done for us. And I told Jayla, don't ever forget that. What God done for us. This is what God's done for us. He saved us. He helped, he saved mommy. So we're going to church. I say we're going today. If I say we're not going, we're going to put on some worship music and she going to praise dance through this house. I'm going to be praying, speaking in tongues and thanking God and clapping my hands because that's how we have been worshiping. So those of you who have been trying to see where I'm at and know what church I'm at, I'm a part of the kingdom. And I know who holds me accountable. I have leaders who hold me accountable. So I'm not out here just loose. No. So they're constantly encouraging me. The reason why I closed my calendar for 2020 to heal. My calendar is still closed. So I'm not sorry for turning down preaching engagements for New Year's Eve. Because most people the one that was inviting me was just trying to hear. Because most people preach their pain in the pulpit. I wasn't going to be bleeding on people. I wasn't going to be infecting people. So before I infect anybody, before I do anything, understand this. I'm going to do something right. I'm going to do it right. I ain't going to do that. Many people know my heart. Some people, I ain't going to say many, some. Not everybody knows my heart. But those who have tried to expose leaders, not expose leaders, but expose leaders. You ask me what's perversion. I'm gonna tell you to go get this book, and it deal with the spirit of perversion. And perversion is pretty much a strong man to where it basically, I don't want to say it in a way that's offensive, but I can only say how God gives it to me. Perversion is when somebody tries to twist the word to make it fit their wrong. Perversion is when somebody tries to make their lifestyle that it fits God and it doesn't fit God. Perversion pretty much is where someone, they deal with a lot of pornography, abortion, sexual, it's a whole lot of stuff. Child abuse, twisting word of God, contingency. It's just so much involved. I could do a whole teaching on perversion. And it's continual sin. It's something continuous. It's perverted. Like you just trying to make what's wrong right. And it's wrong in the eyes of God. So you're, if you read Isaiah 19:14, that'll really, it'll help you. People that's preaching doctrinal error and all that stuff. I could do a whole teaching on it, and it'll bless your whole life. So, trust me, you will be shocked. Perversion is a really strong hold. It's a perverse spirit. Cause you to detour from the blueprint of God. And you gotta remember Isaiah 55:8-9. You ever heard the scripture of for my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways, and the heavens are higher than the earth, all that stuff. When you read that, then it makes sense, because everybody's trying to make it seem like their life is nothing wrong, taking something wrong from its original use and using it for what it's not permitted to do. Absolutely. So basically trying to twist it, flip it to make it seem as if what you're doing is right. God makes us new creatures every day. That's why we got to constantly renew our minds. Renew. Romans 12:1-2. Many people quote that scripture, but they yet not delivered. So it's about transforming and reforming yourself in the eyes of Christ. Makes sense? I pray it makes sense to you. All right. Be blessed. I love y'all. My time is well spent. But again, mind the business that pays you. Mind the business that you have at home. Mind that business, because you pay that business at home. Okay? I love y'all. Be blessed. I love y'all. Be blessed. Most certainly.